this big piece of news
Hit
yet.
me,
I don't know
baby.
if you're aware of it. Actually,
Nah, tell me.
You ready?
Well,
you ready? Is everyone ready?
I'm ready.
Let me get
We're
closer
ready.
for this one.
All right.
Chaboy is back at it again. Hermes Cup, let's go. Come on, guys. Chaboy's in the house.
And by Chaboy, we mean Haelian. He is Chore Boy. Are you the boy?
Sure.
So you have to tell me about the origination of Chaboy. Where'd that come from? Was it a sparkle in your brain? Did someone in chat say it? How did that come up? Oh wow! Look at this man! Look at the Chaboys!
I don't know.
Nice.
Okay, so I mean, I don't want to get into the politics behind it, so we won't do that. But
okay.
Needless to say, Twitch needed a new emote to represent, Chaboy and all the Chaboys out in the Twitch community. And I hope that I have delivered upon this with this delicious emote made myself within the span of about 4 minutes.
Nice. Okay. Well, how about all right. Let's see some more Chaboys. I'll put up the emote wall. Yeah, there we go. Nice. So all the Chaboys will be spamming us while we talk about the Hermes Cup semifinals. So for folks that don't know, this is a Hades racing tournament that we're running here. It's a best of 3 format for this Hermes Cup 3. The racer to escape 3 times will win. Essentially. So essentially it's like running an any heat 3 times. We will give a starting seed, a starting position, meaning that the first chamber will be, locked in and set for both races, so they both have an equal starting point. And then before that, we even actually choose what are we going to race. So there's going to be an aspect draft from an aspect pool. The racers will get to choose that, which is pretty cool. And why are they even racing, Haelian? Why would you even do this?
Why would they want to race? For the glory of it all.
Glory.
And, yeah. Most importantly, that
money,
delicious physical Hermes Cup that you have so bravely endeavored to create.
That's true. Thanks to Little Black Cat Art, who 3D modeled and painted them. And as Wriste, who was the Hermes champion, has received one, he'll be able to tell us later just how toxic it is to drink out of those cups because of the paint content. But I don't know if you can see in the back of my screen here. There's a cup there. I'll bring one up later. There's also prize money. First prize being 100 USD, second 50, and third 25. So this is semifinals, babies, which means whoever goes through is going to get some coin. And then next fortnight will be the first, second place match, and then the third and fourth place match. So that's the format. That's what's happening. And here's the bracket. Haelian, why don't you tell us about the story of these races coming up to where we're at today?
I'll do my best, Jerdsy Purdsies. But looking at the bracket myself here, we saw a pretty big upset. Babloization. The winner of the previous Hermes Cup got knocked out 2-1 by webs2d. Followed by Wriste13, of course, taking out Kron. And now, so we have Master versus Apprentice. Yet again, Wriste continuously, probably because he just recruits people left and right for speedrunning Hades.
Well, that's the setup, right?
Like a mastermind, really.
He's been setting them up for the fall to get his easy path through to the finals.
Exactly, yep. Giving poor advice, no doubt, I would say. But so we have webs2d versus Wriste, the man you can't resist, 13. Coming up first, and then Jerds, we have duunk0 versus Museus7.
duunk0,
can't believe
hunko.
It.
Look, it
duunk0 that hunko.
I know. The rule is, if you're going to make it to hey, thanks for the cheer, Pixel Noise FM, huge actually, thank you. You have to have a number in your name if you're going to make it to the semifinals. That's the rules. Also, the finals.
It's true. That's why Babel couldn't continue, unfortunately.
Yeah, if it was Babel 0, different story.
There you go.
All right, buddy. Other things have been happening in the world. And when I say the world, I mean the world of Hades. What's been happening in world record land lately?
Oh, gosh. Lots of toss-ups here. Let's see. duunk0 continuously to work down that 3 weapons world record time. Crazy times being put out by duunk0 for 3 weapons and all weapons at the same time. I saw Vareem get some really, really great personal best at all weapons, getting that time lower and lower. Dunk's going to be in for some work if he wants to keep up with that.
Yeah.
For any percent, not much has changed. Medic still actually holds the any percent in-game time record, which I think he's held for a few weeks now already. It's actually been one of the longer stretches that someone's held an any percent record. So I guess it goes to show how strong that time really is. We saw some mix-up from the real-time records for any percent a little bit. Me and Webs kind of went back and forth a little bit at it. Webs currently holding it and having a really great time. Oh, someone might have gotten a sub-6 recently. I don't know if it's been verified yet.
Lily,
but yeah.
It hasn't been verified, you're right, which is why it hasn't shown. But it's Lily with a 554 on Aerisrail. It's on YouTube. And I'm not sure if it's public or private on YouTube. But yeah, it's in the submission list. We were getting, I don't know, a lot of submissions for speedruns on speedrun.com, especially after AGDQ. We were getting 20 to 30, and now it's like there was one day where we had over 40, and maybe we'll need some more verifying firepower to
and
just
when we
get
think
through
about
them.
it, like 40 times, 20, 25 minutes for each run, probably. That is a lot for you guys to go through. That is a lot of work.
There are some tricks that we do to make it more efficient, but there is definitely like certain checkpoints we have to make sure that, people have done it fair and right. The most common thing is when people put in they don't show their previous death on an unseeded category submission. It's like, well, this could have been seeded. We don't know. So read the rules if you're going to do some speed runs, and before you submit would be my advice.
Yep.
But yeah,
always do.
The amazing thing is just how many are coming through, and it's awesome to see people keen and getting into speed running. It's just look. I think a lot of people in the past have sort of looked at speedrunning and gone, this looks like a tough thing to get into. Like this live split setups. How do you set up recording, all that stuff. But talk about a welcoming community. There's guides, there's people, and it's easy to get into, and the game just lends to, hop in and just go for speed. So easy times if you want to do it.
Come join us. You won't be able to leave, but it'll be fun at least.
Yes, we've been locked here for a while. Please help. All right, so we've seen some hot times in the Hermes Cup so far. These ones in yellow were last cup. I didn't unyellowise them for this, but I'll do it next time. As we can see, we're racing for RTA, so these RTA times have been reaching pretty much the 16-minute mark there. Bablo with the fastest on Lucifer. Lucifer with a strong showing so far, actually, out of the wacky aspects in the pool today. And
crazy, really.
Yeah, Lucifer showing its strength. I really think, Rail, if there was ever to be a category where you just race all of the aspects of a particular weapon, and, if this category was called one weapon only, and if it was ever to pop up, Rail would be a strong showing. Right?
Yep. Basically, Lucifer seems to be an Eris wannabe. Luciferus, you might even call it a little bit here.
Yeah, it's a bit cheeky, that one. Plus, on the rail, and this is just in my opinion, like Hestia is strong. Lily has shown very fast times with that. Kate as well. And, I guess you can set up some sort of spread fire on Zag. But yeah. We've got races coming up, but before then, a quick announcement. There's a throwdown, folks out there in the audience, anyone that's out there in general. Ronnie
throwdown?
Yeah, Ronnie DeBear and JDN's throwing down, or should I say a splashdown. Hey, Ronnie, are you there? And why don't you tell us about it?
Hey guys, how are you doing today?
Good, man. Good to have you.
Yeah, so just a real quick announcement from me and JDN. For those of you who aren't aware, there is a throwdown, as Haelian and Jerds just mentioned, for Supersoaker. For those of you who haven't seen Supersoaker, it was actually featured in Wriste13 and Nuclear Kron's Hermes Cup 3 showdown. Yeah. And it is a Lucifer rail build that is very moist, very wet, very fun, a bit of a meme. But JDN, for the 1.37 patch, had an insane blistering time of 7:28, if I'm not wrong.
And that's going to be tough to beat.
Oh, absolutely. That there just wasn't enough people running it. Now, also, alongside of this, this week is Aspect of the Week, and it is for Lucifer Rail. So a lot of people are playing Lucifer Rail already, but JDN decided to throw down some money. I decided to add a little bit of money to the pot, and so did a community member of Rigged. So currently there's $160 in the pool. If you are to follow the Super Soaker rules and beat the Super Soaker or the Lucifer Rail world record, which again 728, it's pretty hefty. And this has been going on all week, so just know that this is a little bit of a late announcement for this population. So I think you have till Sunday to get that in. I think we'll give a little bit of leeway because there's obviously a lot of time zones going on. But if by Monday no one else has done it, the bounty will go away. But we're hoping that at least some people start running it and have fun. So if you have any questions, feel free to pop into JDN's stream, my stream, or just ask questions in the category extensions chat in the speedrunning Discord.
Nice, that's awesome, man. Thanks so much for putting up the ponies and all three of you, and that's a really cool challenge to sort of throw down.
160 didgeridoos, Jerds.
Oh,
How many kangaroos does that buy, you think?
I'm not sure if you've ever bought a kangaroo before, but they're actually kind of expensive. That's why not everyone can, like take them to work and to school. You don't see them that much. But yeah, you might be able to buy, like the claws of a kangaroo with that money.
Do you ride in the pouch or?
No, dude, you can put the saddle on and you get on the back and you hop. What the hell? Don't you know how this works? You should come to Australia sometime. We'll show you.
Okay.
We'll show you. I can't wait until one day, the barricades open and we're all allowed to travel again. And then I can come over to Australia come over to America and meet all you guys. Hang out. That'll be cool. So we're going to do some racing. Hermes Cup 3 semifinals. Who's first up? Who are the first suckers here to show us their skills? Haelian, why don't you introduce these races?
You're asking me?
Yeah, who are they?
Dude, I was about to ask you who's racing first. It's Webs versus Wriste, right?
It is. And if you
the
didn't
two chumps?
God's Pride is a scam. FYI. And Haelian is stinky. That's the messages these guys are delivering today.
This is a rude stream. I don't like it here anymore.
No, I think it's good. So for those folks that don't know, Wriste13 is the Hermes 1 Cup champion, here to knock down what he would call his apprentice, but webs2d. I'm sure you got something to say about it. Webs, how are you today?
I could not find the unmute button.
Yeah, I saw.
I'm good, man. I'm ready to do some races.
Excellent. Very good. What do you think about beating Wriste? Is it possible?
I'm ready to pound his cheeks into the ground, sir.
My man.
Oh my.
All right, we got a fight on our hands, folks. Wriste, what do you say in return?
Yeah, sure.
Can you tell us about God's Pride and why is it a scam? Because I'm curious.
Well, since it is a true statement, you will find out in this race. Don't take God's pride. Don't take God's legacy either, though, kids at home.
Take neither, right?
Scams.
Yeah.
Yes, neither is the best. The only way to win is not to play.
Now, what kind of God gamer RNG does a mad lad like you desire Wriste to just get epic boons every time, no matter what?
I mean, that's what I should get. That's what God's Pride should give you, right? Is guarantee epic boons. But I think I don't think we yelled at Amir enough to make God's Pride not a scam.
Well, I think there's still opportunity. There will probably still be updates in the future. Hey, my camera's going a bit crazy. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we do see an update or two in the future. I don't know if any more balance changes will happen. But I don't know, like, have Supergiant had their break yet? Is it time for them to start crafting what's next? I don't know. Maybe we should just enjoy the game, not put pressure on them. So let's get into the aspect draft. There are 7 aspects that these racers today will choose their best of 3 from. And those aspects are on the bottom there. As we can see, we've got Arthur, Hades, Zeus, Chiron, Lucifer, Talos, and Rama. And let's get into the choices here. One moment, please. All right, so, geez. I guess, Wriste, you'd be the higher seed in this case, given your
of course
efforts. Which means you get to do the first ban. What will you ban?
If there's anything Wriste is known for, it's for being modest. That's for sure, right, guys?
Yeah,
No,
that's true.
definitely.
I will ban Aspect of Lucifer.
Aspect of Lucifer it is.
No super soaking today.
Whoops. All right. And that means, Webs, you get the second ban. What's it going to be?
Yeah, let's get rid of Arthur.
Okay.
Boo.
We never see Arthur, but, you know, that's Arthur's fault. You should have been a faster weapon, not a chunky one. Okay. Well, Wriste, you get another ban, good sir. What's that?
Jerds. I don't
Yes.
need another ban.
No, you don't need it, but you can have it. Just
what?
do you want to relinquish your ban? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, if I don't need it, I shouldn't have to use it, right? I mean,
That's
it's just
true.
like an extra resource.
That's
I'll leave it up
true.
to Webs.
All right, you heard
What?
it here.
Wait, so I get to choose 2 more then?
This isn't Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, Wriste. You can't save it for later or something and call a friend.
I love it. Talk about
that
confidence, right? So
Save it for next race.
you can't save it for the next race, but you can choose to give it to Webs or just not have it, not use it at all. Which
Imagine the
is
disrespect, Webs.
I know.
Wriste doing this to you.
I don't mind. I'm good.
All right, we'll pass it up.
All right, you're passing, but that doesn't mean Webs gets 2, or does it?
I don't know.
All right, well, it's up to you if you want to give him yours or pass it. But anyway, Webs, it's your ban. So what are you going to ban?
Go ahead,
You
Webs.
better be cheeky on this one.
Zoo Shield.
Got him.
Aw, no spins.
No spins, no wins will be had here today. All right, so these are the 3 bans for this race. I love the mix-up, and that means we're going to go into picks. There's no nose to pick here, so instead, what would be the aspect you pick? Wriste?
It's gotta be Talos.
Oh, it's gotta
That was
be
number 1.
automatically. All right, Talos is number 1. Webs? What's number 2?
Let me get Hades Spear.
We're spinning one way or another here, Jerds. No Zeus, but we get to spin with Hades, I hope.
Oh, look. You have to spin to win. There's a reason that saying exists. So Hades spin.
True.
Hades spin is what I call it now, not Hades spear. So the problem is now we haven't got 1 ban. We don't know how to choose the remainder. That if it goes through to the best of 3, it could be Chiron or Rama. And Wriste has broken the rules yet again. And now, now we're up the paddle without a creek, and I'm not sure what we're going to do for the 3rd race. So how do you guys want to handle this?
So wait, maybe Jerds, this means you and I get to pick what they do.
Hey,
Absolutely not.
Tournament director always gets final decision. That's true.
I say we unban Arthur and make that the third one.
I say I will be
That's what you
dropping out
get
of
for
this
allowing
race.
Wriste to even be here. We're getting a big ask for chat poll. Maybe we can get Godzillion to start a poll for chat and let chat decide.
Maybe.
Is it Chiron or Rama for 3rd?
I wouldn't make the races. The both would have to agree, in fairness, before we make them do that.
What do you think, Wriste Webs?
How do you guys want to do it?
It
I've
sounds
practiced on both, so it doesn't
completely
matter.
fair to leave this important decision up to the venerable Twitch chat.
It could be Rama.
Alright.
It could be Chiron.
Yep. Well, we
Wait,
could
but-
start the race still while the poll goes on.
Yeah, that's a good point. That is a
So,
good point.
Not a problem. We'll see. Maybe it won't even get to the 3rd weapon, but I hope it does.
The alternative Webs would have been, it would have just been the opposite of whatever wristband. So I guess really it does come down to wrist choice in a way. But yeah, so if you're happy with that wrist, that's what we'll do. We'll let the poll roll. And if we get to the BO3, we'll sort it out then. Let's get going with the racing. So that means, gentlemen, set up your mirrors, set up your keepsakes, get that aspect and pact going, babies, because we're going to start a race.
I'm ready. I'm loaded up.
Yeah, same.
All right.
All right. We're both ready for the seed over here. Waiting on the webs, the 2D.
Oh, I still have the previews on. I forgot about that.
All right.
Is it quick
You'll
to
just
turn
have to leave
off?
it, and you'll have to tell Wriste what is going to be offered then.
Okay, that's my bad.
Okay. All right. For Talos, that is the first one, right? Correct. Yep.
Yep.
Talos, it is going to be 609,963. One more time, 609,963.
Okay. It's gonna be explosive upper, heavy knuckle, and concentrated knuckle on the hammer.
Choose your knuckle.
Okay. Sounds terrible.
Sounds great to me.
All right. Well, with that, how do you guys want the countdown? Will it just be over voice, or do you need to type out
No, you can do voice for me.
voice?
Good voice.
Nice. We'll do a voice one. Webs, are you ready to race? This is going to be the semifinals. First of the best of three. Webs versus Wriste. Sorry, Webs, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm good to go, man.
Wriste, you're good to go.
Oh yeah.
Hit it up, babies. All right, Haelian, with the countdown.
All right, my boys, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they're off.
All right, we should see some updates soon, and hopefully those live splits, as you can see on the right of their screens, will show us the times that we'll be tracking. Looks like Wriste is
Delay
delayed.
from Wriste here, it looks.
Yeah, huge delay from Wriste. I'm not sure if that's and he's off. So yeah, there might be a 6 or 7 second difference, but like I was saying, what matters is the live split. So we'll fall back onto that time at the end there.
Yep. This is what happens when you have to stream multiple ways, really, sadly. And it looks like both runners are going for the Merciful End Dream, no doubt. I noticed that Wriste actually did not take Explosive Upper. I thought, even with Talos, that would be the choice, honestly. But Wriste has actually opted against it, and I think he took, I'm going to say Concentrated Knuckle or something. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I didn't actually quite see it, so I'm just doing a little bit of a quick setup here. But yeah.
So yeah, we'll have to bear in mind for the timers. Webs did start his timer on Zag Landing, whereas Wriste started it on Begin Escape. So his time might look a little bit better than what it actually was. And if it's going to be that close, then we're going to have to just perhaps even review the footage. I'd love a close race. Wouldn't you love a close race right about now, Jerds?
Of course, every time, anytime. You know what I love the most though? Wriste is actually with all his throwing shade and down talk. He's actually serious, and you know how I know? He's activated gamer mode. Epic gamer mode. Look at those eyes on the bottom right of his camera. It's glowing.
I can't believe it.
And even though his mind sways to the left and to the right, his eyes remain focused.
So interestingly, I think they're still on the same seeded path at this moment. I don't know how much longer it's going to last. Yep, Wriste has the same exact door offers. It might look like Wriste is a little behind, but keep in mind there was a timer differential there. So we're going to have to bear that in mind. It was at least 15 seconds, if I were to guess. So Web's still looking pretty good. They both have the same setup. Looks like Wriste actually chose to go to the shop instead of going to see Boldy. So that's actually, I kind of like that move in case there is Athena in the shop, or maybe more Ares too.
Yeah.
Web's making great work of the sneak there very quickly. Unfortunately, no good mini boss offerings for either player now. They just really need that Athena, and they need Athena to show up as early as possible.
All right, they're looking for it. What will happen in the meantime? Wriste clears the Doomstone very quickly. It's got to be Rare Crop. Rolls away though, and instead picks up Ravwell. All right.
Wriste has brought great shame to the community for not rare cropping that Ares Dooman on the attack.
Let it be known.
Much shame. No Nocha boys are to be had now.
So, yeah, I like what you said about the choice going to the shop instead of going to the Baldy. Sure, you get gold in one, you spend in the other, but really you just need the boon of choice. And when you come up to those decisions of do I pick a shop or a free thing, which often happens at the end of your biome, right? You really got to cast a quick glance at what is your currency point at the time, and can you even buy anything of value?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's definitely like these are the kind of runs where you got to keep track in your head what you got, what room you're on, all those little things. You know, you don't have to have it down to a T, but you got to be pretty close. You know, you got to know how close to the shop, how much gold you got. Wriste with a great fountain room right here, by the way.
Yeah, low chance.
But yeah, it definitely takes a lot of mind and willpower to just keep track of all these things while you're trying to do this.
Yes, absolutely right. So that means Wriste is going to be going into clearing the first biome against the boss, and who's going to be? It's Tiffany.
So yeah, Wriste definitely taking a pretty commanding lead here, since we know his stream was a little bit behind where Webs was. So Wriste definitely pulling into the lead. No Athena for either player. Ooh, epic 30% attack speed for Webs. Truth be told, if he does actually get Merciful End, it's not going to do that much, but it just sounds fun, right? Just like we were joking about Rare Crop. In reality, it's really not going to do anything, and you probably shouldn't take it, but it's just fun.
It is fun. It's a little bit of extra damage. I mean, you're always looking for movement speed, extra dashes, I guess, in this case, or you'd settle for hyper sprint, I assume. But yeah,
those are definitely the top two. Yep.
But you know, take what you
I know
can
I've seen some other people, some other runners, especially people just getting into the speedrunning. See epic boon, take epic boon. Even though you know it's not what you need, I can actually vouch for our mod Godzillion in chat now and shame him a little bit for falling for that himself on his own stream recently. But it's all good fun, and it's hard to resist those purple boons, you know.
Don't you worry about Haelian gods. We love you, and you do a great job, and you stream how you want, baby.
Oh, interesting here. So Webs did take Athena's keepsake, but Wriste is wearing Poseidon's. This is a very interesting divergence here. I wonder what maybe Wriste is thinking. I am too far away from Merciful End at this point. I don't think it's worth even going for. I'm gonna get Splash Dash instead, because that's always just a great flat damage bonus that you can have.
That's right.
That's actually really, really interesting.
It's a nice adapt. And does it lead into Curse of Drowning? Is that the play here?
He would need Poseidon's cast, and he's already filled out that cast boon, unfortunately.
True.
So
that is true.
That would have been amazing, and I would have been all for seeing some Curse of Drowning, which we have not seen in the Hermes Cup in quite some time. Unfortunate Thanatos over on the left side for Webs there. It is Chamber 18, which that just means it's probably not going to be that long of a Thanatos room at the least. So I think you'd almost rather see him here than not, just because if you do get him later on, especially in Elysium, it's going to feel way, way worse.
Wriste styling before he goes into the Mega Gorgon fight here. Let's see how quickly he can. He's going to drop the Meg to hit both targets here. Here it is.
There you go.
And
nicely done.
Drop.
You can see that neither runner right now has a very high amount of damage. This is sort of the problem that you can get into when you're trying to get Merciful End, but you don't have it yet. Wriste rolling this Poseidon. There it is. Splash Dash has been taken. This is going to be interesting to see, because Webs is going all in on Merciful End. Wriste has completely abandoned it and just going against the grain here, I got to say. We haven't seen this happen, I don't think, in a Hermes Cup yet.
That's true. We have seen a few sort of adapt with what you can, but nothing like this, that's for sure, Haelian. And as Webs picks up an additional dash, I think Wriste does maintain his lead at this point. Because, you know,
same mini boss for Webs here. That's good news, because if he got barged here, it would have been really bad news for him, honestly, just because that just gives Wriste an even bigger lead than he already has. But yeah, I think you're right, Jerds. I think Wriste has maintained and actually extended that lead a little bit. Webs grabbing Athena's dash, which means that he still can't get Merciful End yet. He has to get the special before Merciful End can even appear. So Athena's dash doesn't really do much for damage output. It does a little bit, mostly in returning projectiles. And it also makes it safer here, but this being a speed run, really, you just don't really got to be that safe. This is interesting.
All right, well, let's see how his strengths pay off here against Lerny. Quick fade, I don't think he'll be taking a Death Defiance at all in this fight, so it'll just be some bread and butter fighting.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. And this is where Splash Dash is going to shine for the most part until he gets the sticks. And we can all guess that Splash Dash does quite a bit against the enemies in the small chambers and sticks here. But not actually knocking the bosses away from you is probably a plus, really. Because you just, especially with the fists here, it's just going to be a problem actually in Elysium. I wonder if maybe this is more of a boss mechanic. Oh, looks like Webs actually picked up an extra Athena right before the shop here at the end of Asphodel. That's going to be huge. If he gets Ares or Athena in here, can he get it? Oh, he has to roll. No.
And another
one more
reroll.
Time. No.
All right.
Web's still offline, unfortunately, for Merciful End. The good luck was followed by the bad luck.
Dims the brakes. As he goes into the Lenny fight here, he is playing catch up, so he does need these advantages to come through. Let's see how fast he clears out the Bone Hydra here.
At least he got Impending Doom as a constellation boon there, which is definitely the second best thing that you're looking for. And then he's just praying that he somehow gets shown in another Athena or Ares boon again soon. He does have one roll left, and he's definitely going to be saving it for that. But in the meantime, yeah, Wriste with a really demanding lead here, I got to say. But Thanatos has not come to the table yet for old Wriste over here. You never know what could happen.
Well, it could happen in 5 chambers' time. Who knows? There's still time. Chaos will burn one of his chambers very quickly. Making the best choice that you can out of what's there. Loney, in the meantime, hurry up. Get out of your bubble.
Yeah, seriously. I'm sure Webs, and I'm sure Wriste was feeling it too, just like these aren't going to be the fastest runs because they just didn't get the optimal build quickly enough, or at all, really, potentially. But yeah, Wriste is still making some good time here in Elysium. You know, the Splash Dash is actually helping him out, I'm going to say.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, I think you can almost put it on anything these days and do well if you're, dashing in.
It's true, yeah.
It's so strong. It is so strong. I mean, especially against these little nobbins here, like the Flame Wheels and, the Souls, so... Okay.
Quick favor taken for Wriste, and then following it up with the mini boss with another Poseidon boon. Definitely a wise choice there. A lot of great options to follow up Splash Dash, really. None of them are really bad. There are definitely some better ones, like Breaking Wave is an amazing boon. Wave Pounding does a lot of work. Even Razor Shoals and Typhoon's Fury, they're not bad if you don't get the key ones. They do something.
Yeah, absolutely. Poseidon very much being one of these kind of like Zeus, right? In that the more of the supporting boons that you get, the more you double down on what you got. A little bit of a rough fight against Asterius there, but it's done, and he'll stomp on out. Let's see what boon this grants Wriste here from Poseidon. Straight for Razor Shoals, didn't even think about Hydraulic Might, and off he goes.
I can agree with that. I mean, Hydraulic Might, it doesn't boost your Doom damage at all. It's just going to boost the white damage from his attack, and he's just not really using the special very much, so I definitely understand it. In the meantime, Webs actually took an Ares room here. He's about to finish it up, and let's see, can he get that Merciful End finally, and will it be enough to get him back in the lead? There she is!
Nice.
Back on top, baby. He even skips looking at that well. He says, forget it. Even with all that money. He even knows that picking up another Ares at this point, not that helpful because he already has Impending Doom. Really smart play right there. It's very, very tempting for a speedrunner to just keep buying boons, but this is a real-time race, so you can't just go around buying everything and spending time picking out choices like this. So really smart move by Webs there. We can see Webs actually pulling into the lead, I'm going to say. Wriste finishing up chamber number 31, entering 32. Meanwhile, Webs is already in chamber 32.
Absolutely, and that's after Webs made an interesting choice, changing the meta I would say a little bit in the butterfly ball fight. You might notice he didn't drop the Meg upon start for the quick room. He just straight up knocked it down. It's still only left one Soul Catcher to clean up at the end there anyway. And even though it might have cost an extra second or two, he retains the Meg for probably more challenging time cost fights later. So I like that mix up. A little bit of initiative.
Yeah, great move, I think, there. Yeah, the butterfly ball doesn't even have that much health, and when he got with Merciful End online like he already has, it shouldn't be a big deal, honestly, to kill the butterfly ball quickly.
Yeah. All right, so now we've got a race back on our hands there. Wriste did take the lead for a bit. Webs picked up Merciful End, and he's on the catch-up at the same time. Theoretically, he might have the power here to overtake. Let's see what happens as we slowly come into the... Well, Webs will be coming into the end of Elysium fight against the heroes.
Very soon, yeah. It could be closer than we think here. It looks like Webs is in the lead, but again, the timers are a little bit off. So I think this is actually incredibly close right now. I do worry that Webs' Merciful End build is just going to overtake Wriste in terms of killing bosses and enemies here. It's going to be hard. It's going to be extremely difficult for the damage to keep up for Wriste at this point. Again, Webs is making really smart plays. He had a choice between taking Obols or an Aphrodite boon on Adorer. He chose the Obols even though he doesn't even really want the Obols, but just because he knows that picking out a boon costs time. And he wisely did not buy that Athena boon a second ago either because he just doesn't need it. He has everything he needs. He just wants to get to the end of the game now.
Yeah, absolutely right. And Webs does basically take down both heroes pretty much now. So as Wriste enters the fight. Wriste opens up with the Meg.
It is really close. I do believe Wriste is going to be a little bit behind here if I were to guess, but it's not by much.
Interestingly, Wriste picking up Razor Shoals might have been one of the activators for Privilege Status, which he's running. I didn't realize he was running Priv Status, as we see it flashing on these guys now.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So picking up that 40% damage there by having 2 curse or status effects on the enemy, that's his setup.
I'm wondering a little bit if this was Wriste's plan all along. I mean, it is definitely a high role play to go for privileged status here, but I mean, I just love to see anything different than what we normally get here.
Yeah.
Not an amazing fight for Wriste there. It was definitely on the slower end, but again, he went for the more consistent build. He did lose another Death Defiance. He's only got 1 left. So without Athena's dash to help carry through deflecting some of the enemy's moves here, he could be in some trouble.
Yeah, it could be. We'll see. And we'll see if any shops produce anything for him or how he's going to handle this. Look, I think it's very possible to get through and clear off Hades without dying, even with the 1DD at this point. It's just a matter of how all in he goes, I guess. Or if there's any surprises on the way. In the meantime, Webs finished off his first tunnel. Picks up Slicing Shot.
Slicing Shot. Even the little swag throw right there, right before taking the gate, you saw the little smirk on his face there.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, that's funny.
Wondering if that was intentional for damage, because, you know, like he specifically chose not to go for Urge to Kill, being, you know, like a flat, I think it was 10 or 12% damage increase, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, Museus number 7 is definitely going to be very upset for Webb stealing his strats right now for showing off Slicing Shot here, but, you know, he's going to have to share that Slicing Shot trophy, I think, now.
I guess
I think it's important to note here that we are using a mod so that the runners always get the same sack, the sack on the same paths. It's always going to be 3 paths to get to the sack here, basically. This is the kind of RNG that just swung a little too heavily, we thought, and it could really determine the outcome of a race a bit too much. So that's why we've decided to go with that and just try to make it a little bit more fair.
Yeah, exactly right. And yeah, on second thought about the Urge to Kill decision, I think, well, you know, that does it increases damage for attack, cast, and special. But how much of attack, cast, and special is his damage? I mean, a lot of the damage is coming from the Merciful End procs, and they probably don't count as one of those 3, which mean the Merciful Ends procking maybe don't get boosted. I'm not sure. Maybe that's the decision behind that. Either way, Webs goes up to clear a Serb, and then go through to the Hades fight.
Yep.
Wriste continues to fight through the tunnels.
Yep, I gotta say this has to go to Webs at this point. Wriste has fallen only further behind here in Styx. The damage his damage output can just not keep up with Webs. Not to mention Webs even palmed that Slicing Shot at the end of the tunnel, giving us a nice little cute smirk from that cute little face of his. And yeah, so it's definitely looking like, unless something really horrible happened to Webs here, that he's going to take round 1.
The student becomes the master. Too early to say. This might be round 1, but it is a best of 3. So let's see what happens in the next one. Slicing Shot doing work, and as we see here, you know, like he's chucking, you know, he's trapped Hades in the corner and sort of having Slicing Shot sort of bounce and sort of remain over him. He's got all the health in the world, so he can kind of bait Hades into staying in the one spot and eat all of those Slicing Shot ticks. So it is kind of working in a way. It's a little bit more damage, I guess. I mean, look at that, right?
It's true. So, I mean, he probably knows that. I mean, I think he's just kidding around, to be quite honest. But Boiling Blood, the mirror upgrade where you have a cast inside an enemy, you deal 50% more attack and special damage. It's not really going to do anything for his build anyway, so he kind of just didn't care about that. And I think he's just
He's memeing.
trying to make a fun use of slicing shot there. And a great fight by Webs there. 18-10 is it's a pretty good Talos time, I'd say, honestly.
Yeah, it's not too bad at all. And definitely enough for him to take the first round here in this match of the semifinals. And let's see how Wriste's build sort of accumulates into power against the final fight, the Hades fight here. I do love the satisfying sounds of privileged status hits.
Right, don't you? I miss it because I don't get to use it very much anymore, I gotta say. Or I just choose not to, I guess.
It's not a terrible theory, right? I mean, if you're going to go merciful end, that's, you know for a fact you will be getting one curse, so all you need is the second one to hit 40.
Right. I think it's just kind of scary because you're taking up the dash with Athena, and to try to get her curse is pretty difficult. When you already need 3 boons, like 2.5 boons from Athena, really. So it's definitely not easy to activate with Merciful End here, but it is very interesting choice by Wriste.
We'll have to ask him about it after the fight. Here we go. Hades is on phase 2, and halfway of that, a cool little tech being shown here. You can stand in the middle of these beams and not take damage, as long as you're not fighting EM4, of course. And now he's on his last life. Will he live or will he die? Of course he'll live. And Hades will drop.
Fine. Nicely done by both runners there. Very nice, cool showcase there.
Yeah, very good. And with that, we have a first fight is finished, and Webs does take the first round. But very interested to know what happened with your builds for both of your races. Wrists, why don't you talk to us about privilege status and splash dash?
So I think privilege status, I should say, has, I think, one of the best sound effects in the game. So if you get those, no matter how good or poorly your run is going, you'll actually feel pretty good about it. So I got to hear the cool sounds. I did not get to find Merciful End. I sort of got to the fun of the build is you sort of get to call an audible in Tartarus. If you don't find Athena, you can change to something else. I had a pretty good Tartarus and Asphodel. My Elysium kind of fell apart due to some reasons. I didn't get to see mid shop. I had a pretty weak Minotaur fight, and I got to fight him. And all in all, it looks like Merciful End might be stronger late game, but privilege status.
It was still cool. I liked it. I like to see people trying out different strats, and I like kind of like seeing some consistency here. Now let's hear from the slicing shot master himself, webs2d.
Hey, what's up, gamers? That run was okay. That was the worst Asphodel I've ever had. I got fanned and no mid shop. But other than that, it was pretty solid.
Yeah, and you had a choice of at the end there in sticks of slicing shot over, say, urge to kill. Were you just memeing, or do you see value in slicing shot?
No, shoutouts to Museus. I love him.
Word to that. You'll see Museus probably in about, 40 minutes time or so for the second fight versus duunk0. But right now, we're in a best of 3 of Webs versus Wriste. Webs takes the first one, but we got to go into the second race right now, and that race will be Aspect of Hades. So, guys, select your equipment, and let's get going.
Oh, wait, dang. I'm not back at the house.
Get back to the house.
Oopsie.
Back at the house. All right.
I'm ready for the seed.
You're a good man.
I'm here.
All right, Wriste gets a head start because Webs failed us. All right, the seed number is 599628. 599628.
You have to repeat that because Webs has to come back.
Yeah, I'll make sure to repeat it twice still too. Anyway, but and not only that, but Webs is gonna have to cheat and tell you what's actually gonna get offered anyway.
You said 599628.
Dang right, I did.
Hey Webs, have you always lived in America your whole life, just out of interest?
Yeah, what?
I was just wondering if I noticed a slight British accent slipping through there or not, but it might have been
Oh,
my
no.
ears.
It's funny you confuse that because the Southern and British often confused.
Oh, I see.
He says very sarcastically, "Please don't take me seriously."
Oh, okay, I don't see then. All right.
They're very closely related. Don't listen to him, Jerds. By the way, we should announce
Don't
that
get his special
Rama has
weapons.
won the poll. By the way, Rama is your third weapon. So Wriste, you're gonna have to take this if you want to see some Rama action.
Okay,
I can't
so
wait.
I want to make sure I got this right. It's 599628.
That's the one.
You got it, baby.
I hate you. It's breaching skewer, vicious skewer, and chain skewer.
No, it's supposed to be a surprise.
I've never heard that laugh from Haelian ever. That was truly like guttural. You know how
Special
evil that
build,
was.
boys.
Oh my lord! All right, everybody. All right,
I
guys.
don't know
So,
which one to pick.
well, let us know when you guys are both ready, and then we can start the countdown and get the second race on.
Yeah, I'm good to go.
I feel just right.
Nice.
Just right. All right, boys. I'm just making sure Wriste looks ready. He looks ready, I gotta say. All right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go!
Sweet, sweet skewer.
And they're off.
Good to see so many viewers hanging out for Hermes Cup. Looks like 331 right now watching and judging these decisions that these races are making today.
This must be streaming over Wi-Fi again or something here. It looks like Vicious Skewer was taken by Webs. It's hard to know which one to take here, honestly, and that's what I really wanted to test. Vicious Skewer by Wriste himself also here. So Vicious Skewer, it's not really known for being good, I'm going to say. It's not. It doesn't usually do a whole lot. You might think anything with crit sounds pretty good, but for some reason, it just doesn't feel good to only have it on the return. 50% chance is a lot, but only on the return from throwing it just doesn't feel good. I would be surprised. Well, actually, we see Wriste making some pretty good use of it here, I got to say. But I wouldn't be surprised if they just flat out ignored it half the time.
Ooh, epic deadly flourish picked up for Wriste there, having a grin. So we'll be seeing some big crits, especially on return.
Big special damage picked up for Webs, 117% from Chaos there. So if Webs goes all into the special build, he might actually be dealing some of that gamer damage right now, Jerds.
Yeah, that's right. And we might see a respectable time with this aspect. Oh, let's see.
We have to force them, Jerds, sometimes to try different things because God knows I'm not going to spend the time to experiment. We're going to make them do it in the middle of the Hermes Cup.
You say that, but for anyone that's watched Haelian stream, there's a lot of experimentation that goes on. And I'll give you the plug, Hales. If you check out YouTube and you check out Haelian's channel, he's got all sorts of things that he's done. Like stupid things, as well as the fast things, you know? I think it's important to experiment with the non-meta too, right? It's so easy just to get locked into a meta. You know, like this is the world record, or these are the top times, or this is how everyone races, I'll just do that. But we need to explore the edges and find out what options there are, even if just not only to know the game that we love so much a bit better.
So Aphrodite showing up for both runners here. Thank you, by the way, Jerds. That's very kind of you to say. Aphrodite showing up for both runners here. Wriste got an epic attack from her, so that could be good. But he's still trying to use up the special best he can. Webs took the cast, I believe. Yep, and he also got an epic Zeus call, which should be okay normally. The problem is, Bear Sign is actually pointing this out in chat a little bit earlier. Calls are built up based on how many hits you deliver. And Hades aspect, especially if you're going to be using the special a lot, it's not going to deliver a lot of hits. The damage is going to be a bit chunkier than that, I think. Ooh, Heartrend showing up for Wriste already super early there. That's actually going to be awesome for him here. He just delivers one dash attack and starts specialing after that to try to get... he'll do one spin, not dash attack, and then he'll start specialing after that. Get that huge heart rend damage. Big crits. That is such an early heart rend. That's could be bad news for Webs over here. Nourish Soul picked up for Webs. I guess he recognized he was on low health there, so.
It's kind of insane. You pick up the duo that you're really looking for your build. When you pick that up in the mid shop of Tartarus, you know you're in for some good time.
Absolutely. Snowburst picking up there. I'm sure it's not really what he wanted. I'm not certain. That's the thing. I'm not really certain what Webs is going to be looking for here now. He got some more Zeus showing up. He's actually rolling it. Ends up taking Double Strike. I think that's a nice choice. He probably would have preferred Billowing Strength a little bit. That's just an amazing boon that you can get offered by Zeus when you already have a call boon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Double Strike will increase the efficiency of that call by quite a bit.
All right. Symphony taking some big chunky damage here from Webs. So it looks like, you know, well, look at these, like 426, 463, boom, boom.
Yeah, some nice numbers, huh?
Yeah, it's good.
It doesn't seem too bad. I mean, in comparison to other weapons, it doesn't seem particularly fast, I'll admit. Yeah, so it looks like Webs is a good amount ahead here. He did start his timer quite a bit later than when Wriste does, so it could be a little off. It's probably a little bit closer than it looks right now by about 15 seconds, but yeah, I still think Webs is a little bit in the lead here. But I think Wriste might have the better build at the moment, especially with that heart rend. Ooh, nice big chunks, 558, 502. Lots of big numbers showing up on the screen there.
Jose. All right, so with that, Wriste is probably, I can't really see the times right now, but by feel, that was about a minute behind. Can you tell the times there, Haelian?
I mean, I'd say I can't read it. It's too small for me. I'm sorry. He's about 30 seconds, probably.
All right, not too bad. So it's not unsurmountable. He can do the catch up. It's just a matter of how he plays it and what the gods offer, I guess. No dashes or movement speed really picked up there for Webs from Hermes. Yep. So that might be a point of opportunity for Wriste should he get one. However, Webs picking up the Eurydice room, which is always a fast room and a nice buff. So
just making their way through Asphodel here. Looks like Wriste put on actually Poseidon's keepsake, and he immediately takes that epic hydraulic might from Poseidon there. That's an interesting take. I wonder if he wanted the dash, but just chose not to roll for it. I'm not sure. Going right into that Eurydice room right afterwards, though, just like Webs did, so they're on pretty even pace at the moment.
Yeah, and you know, Webs picking up that fan room here. So
oh yeah, that's gonna cost him.
This is a catch-up opportunity here. A couple of things. That's all it takes, right? It's kind of the way I see it. Is if you're on the catch-up, it's what do you need to do to catch up? If you're already playing as hard as you can, then certain things need to occur. And often it's a multi-piece puzzle, not just a single-piece puzzle. And that was one of the pieces. Opponent gets Than, I don't, kind of thing.
Yep. So Wriste already had Thanatos in late Tartarus, whereas Webs got it early Asphodel, so that's better news for Webs than it is for Wriste right there. But huge 100% rush delivery picked up for Wriste there, and he already has Hyper Sprint, so that's 100% extra damage for about a second after he dashes every time. That is enormous. That could sway things in a huge way against the bosses more than anything here.
Heart Rend picked up there for Webs.
Whew.
That ain't cool Zag hot feed for nothing.
Yeah, this is looking pretty saucy, Jerds. It's close. Oh, Wriste with that fountain room pickup too now.
All right. This is definitely a race. You don't know what's going to happen here. I mean, bear in mind, Than could appear for Wriste, though, in Elysium.
Oh, he already got it in Tartarus.
Oh, he did. No, you're right. We can see there on the counter at the top right, thanks to Elo's racing mod. LMNOP makes a lot of great mods for the community and for the racing community as well. Swift Flourish increased special speed there for Webs.
Interesting. I mean, I wonder how this is going to work. You can see Wriste already at the Hydra, and like we said, Webs was a little bit quicker out of the gate just from his stream delay there, so we know that Wriste is definitely in the lead now, and he's got this great build, and he was able to pick up Splash Dash on the way, so he's got everything going for him right now.
That he does. So Webs enters the Lerny fight as Wriste is pretty much finishing off the final phase heads here.
It's definitely close, though, huh?
It's definitely close. If anything, it's probably fun to play something different with a off-meta aspect like this. You know?
I hope so. That's all I strive for, Jerds. Fun and fun.
It's not always about the speed and getting those world records, especially when you're old like me and Haelian. You probably, you got to let
Whoa. Why am I being lumped in with you?
You're one of the oldies in the community. What are you talking about? Don't deny your age. Be proud of it.
I mean, if you think 21's old, Jerds, I mean, I guess.
Well, it depends. Okay, let's leave that one aside. But it depends if you think. Hang on, you're not 21.
Sure I am. I can produce several identifications that will prove this.
But I would say that you're at least 26. In which case,
I'll take 26.
Probably too old to date Leonardo DiCaprio, but
what?
Good enough to date me. Oh, there's something I saw on Reddit once.
Oh dear. Oh, this is getting whoa. I mean, I didn't expect you to ask me like this, Jerds.
What? Well, you had to have known all this time we spent together, the feelings.
Well, I mean, I thought you were playing coy.
I don't play coy. I only catch coy.
What? Anyway, there's a race going on, Jerds. We'll have to continue this conversation. I thought that was just pillow talk you were having with me, but anyway.
You're a married man, Haelian. Keep it.
Charge Skewer picked up by webs2d on the left over there. He's going all in on this special build. Charge Skewer might actually do quite a bit, I think.
Yes. I mean, that's probably the ultimate second hammer for if you're playing to the special and into Vicious Skewer. I can't think of what else you would want, really. Question mark?
No.
It's just so...
One of the interesting things about Charge Skewer here is that you can charge up the throw, right? But the return does the same amount of damage here. So the return, when you pull the spear back after you throw it, does not get the buffed damage from Charge Skewer. And I'm noticing the Webs actually has Zeus's keepsake on. I guess he's going really hard for that billowing strength, I'm going to guess. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, Wriste did put on the dad keepsake already. They both took that keepsake last race too. Looks like Wriste is still a little bit in the lead, although it's kind of evening up at this point. They're both on chamber 30, but Wriste is already finishing it.
What will be the pickup here for Wriste? T-Fury. All right, it's Minotaur fight time for Webs now.
See how fast this goes. You can see Wriste is being offered a Chaos Gate on the right side here, so that could help save him some time too. Oh, big chunks here. I'm seeing like over 1,000 sometimes from Webs' special, and they were denouncing my hammer picks here. How dare they, I say, Jerds. How dare they indeed.
Yeah, look, high sixes times 2 right there, I mean, bursting out 1,200 within a few seconds. That's good damage. In-game time there, 6:37 here I'm looking at. All right, Webs
rolling over here. Rolling
roll.
Again. He's looking really hard. There's an epic billowing strength. Very nice. He could have been offered Smoldering Air, I believe, there too, which probably would have been a really nice choice, I'd say, as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the aid does so much damage, really, although you are inclined to keep range with this weapon if you're playing to the special, but I mean, you don't have to.
Web's losing that DD there. You can see it's kind of a struggle to hit foes accurately with that spear special here. It's tough. It's not easy because after you throw it, you really don't want to move before you actually try to pull the spear back, because if you move, the pullback's probably not going to hit the enemies.
That's right. Your moving changes the trajectory of the return, which is where all the big damage is, thanks to Vicious. There's probably a bit of skill to be sort of played with there, and a lot of practice to sort of master and just see how much can you dash to the left or the right once? Is that going to be okay and still get a return? How fat is the enemy for it to go through, right? There's a lot of things to think about on the fly.
Agreed. Web's barely getting out of that chamber without losing another DD. His health is very low. Meanwhile, Wriste, he must have taken a Chaos Curse that reduced his max health because he's only got 62 right now, but it looks like he's doing okay still. He's focusing more on the attack for sure here. I'm trying to figure out what his second hammer might have been in case we missed it, but I can't. Oh, this is it right here, actually. Oh, nothing very good, I gotta say there. Quick spin's okay, but I'm sure he would have really loved Flurry Jab. Like, oh, wait, no, you can't get Flurry Jab with Hades Spear. Never mind. Serrated Point probably, I think, would be the take if I were to guess.
Yep, we'll see. Okay, so he's coming up against Theseus fight now. Opens up with the Meg. Does hit with both targets. Now he just wants to try and line them both up, basically.
Yeah, come on. Line them up, Wrist. Single file now.
Look at this massive debuff icon on both of these enemies here. You turn that upside down, you got Hades' beard. Did you guys know that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right, lining them
now,
up.
do you think Hades styled his beard around the icon or the other way around?
The other way around. He made the beard.
The beard just grew like that, and he took that as the symbol.
Yeah, well, maybe I don't know if he created the symbol, his administrators did, or maybe the shades in fear of Hades graffitied them on the walls, and then it just became a thing. It might have been organic. Who knows?
Clever. I think, so finishing that Heroes fight, both of them finishing it very quickly, but it definitely felt like Webs might have caught up a little bit there. It felt like his Hero fight went a little bit faster than Wrist's at this point. So it is a very, very tight race. You can look at the timers, like Webs is only about 5 seconds behind or so, maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, it's kind of wild considering the variance of things we've got going on here and this off aspect that these guys probably haven't put that much practice into. Very interesting to see. In the meantime, look at this in-game time here from Wrist. I mean, he'll probably be pulling sub 10 here.
Yeah, that's pretty saucy for Hades Spear with a wonky hammer at the start, I gotta say.
Yeah, and three tunnels locked in because of the mod as well. Can't even get a 2-sack. If only...
Yeah, I think at this point, I think Wrist having Splash Dash where Webs has the Artemis Dash there, it's probably going to give him a little bit of an edge versus these small rooms. You can see Webs is having to take a little bit longer to complete it there. Yeah. And then it's a question of who's going to complete Hades faster, I think.
Wrist, yeah, exactly right, Haelian. Wrist not falling into see green boon, pick green boon mentality. Chooses exit wounds instead.
It looks like Webs is still keeping up somehow. It's not that far off. It could come down to just who has the more boss damage, I think, by the end of this. And I don't know, that charge skewer from Webs, that might do quite a bit more than what Quickspin has been doing for Wrist, maybe.
You said it. Yeah.
Do you think we'll see an anvil buy? I didn't notice if either of them were being offered the anvil.
That's a good point.
This might be a situation, honestly.
It's, you know what, it's probably going to be tempting if it's there. The problem being these guys do want to get out the door as soon as possible. I'm not sure if they're watching each other on stream or what, but if they were, they would need to know that. But at the same time, I mean, how much time does it cost to go buy the anvil, Haelian? What is it, like 7 seconds or something?
At least it doesn't open a menu and you just get it. Wow, huge building strength picked up for Wrist there. Epic. Meanwhile, Tiny Vermin has now visited Webs, the first Tiny Vermin of the night, the biggest upset you can really have here in Styx.
Yeah.
Wow, I saw a huge number there, though. That was kind of cool to see. Over 2,000 damage from one of those spear throws for Webs. But this might be the final nail in the coffin for this race.
Yeah,
looks like we're going to be seeing a third race tonight, Jerds.
Very likely, which is always good to see, right? We want to see more racing action, see these guys show us their skills. You know, it must be tough to fight against the Vermin when you're throwing such a thin spear, you know, like it dodges around so fast. And you don't want to miss because, you know, that costs seconds. Yep. Wrist here now, feet Cerberus gets to
this
the
one's
surface.
Definitely going to have to go to Wrist at this point, I got to say. But I think you're right, Jerds. It does kind of, like, enemies with smaller hitboxes must be tougher to hit with this spear special. Oh, no.
You can feel it,
Oh, his health looking so low, but he's still going for it. Webs might know that he's behind, and he's just saying either I win or I die, basically, at this rate.
Which is a great decision to go with, I think, because you are all in at this point. Wrist here now, faces off against Hades. Opens up with the Meg, as is tradition.
You just want to get it out of this first phase as soon as possible. Try to hope that doesn't happen too much where Hades disappears for a couple seconds here. Web's picking up the sack finally over on the left side there and heading into the Hades final zone. He is grabbing a Zeus Boon there, but he just grabs Cloud of Judgment, nothing too important. Meanwhile, Wriste is looking pretty good against the Hades fight. It's not too slow. I think it's about what you'd expect here, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say so too. Definitely showing Hades how to use his own aspect. He's actually hasn't taken that much damage. Oh, as soon as I say that, he gets chonked.
He said that
Double
way too
chonk.
soon, apparently. Wriste getting the wombo combo there, and I think it's important that you lose time when you lose a Death to Defiance. It's an amount of time. It really is. Costs you a couple seconds at the bare minimum, I must say. Never mind just the recovery from it and having to think about your health and managing that.
Yeah, that's true. You could set up the spear here for the vicious return as soon as that bubble drops on Hades here, just to maximize that little bit of damage, perhaps. I don't know. I ain't no Hades spear expert, but
I was so close to this race.
yeah, it really was. Well, it still is, really. I mean, anytime you see both races in a Hades fight at the same time. Chamber 56 versus 57 here, and there we go. Wriste does take the win, meaning it's 1 apiece here in this best of 3.
And looks like we get to see some Rama Bobama action over here, Jerdsy.
Hell yeah. I think it's kind of underrated, that aspect. I really want to see it succeed. Get some chonk going, those chonky hits. Let's see some triple.
Triple shots, you think you want to see?
I want to see triple shot. And I don't know, what are you going to put on attack?
So I do have several seeds written down, but honestly, if I told you what I remembered, what was inside the seeds, I'd be lying.
Allow them to germinate naturally later. And Webs takes the chop for glory and honor. I respect it.
We don't have to talk about that.
Well, it doesn't matter because Wriste has picked up the first win there with a time of 1911, making it 1 apiece in this best of 3. And yeah, guys, how was the struggle, the Hades spear struggle? Wriste, why don't you go first?
I'm just glad that Tartarus just dropped Heartrend directly into my lap.
Yeah, from mid-shot, right?
You guys saw the large numbers. I don't need to go any further than that. Also, we got 100% rush delivery. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that was gold, absolutely. Webs, you were also bringing back some very big crits. I think I saw did we see a 2K? We saw a 1900.
Yeah, we saw some huge numbers over there.
Yeah, I think we did pick up Heartrend, and we picked up a Charge Skewer in Elysium. However, the build
chunks.
it really didn't come online because I didn't have any room clear. So I've run this before. If y'all saw, I started Shackle. I like to play Hades Spear to just kind of see what it gives me. And I picked up a Zeus Call, so my room clear was gonna be Smoldering Air, and it just never came online.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Yep. Haelian, you did mention that being the potential go. All right, well, that means we're going to go into a new final race here, and it's going to be on Rama. So set you guys up. Make sure you're chill and ready, and at your own pace. Let us know when you're ready to receive Haelian's seed.
At the least, Webs is definitely chill right now.
Yeah, man. You
I'm always chill, brother, man.
That's true. He is actually. I've never seen you not chill. I've never seen you raise your voice, be it in anger or excitement.
He's straight vibing right now, Jerds.
Yeah, man. In the zone.
Yeah, sorry.
Haelian, I am curious. How does it feel to, like, whenever you have to check my health or my death defiances, you get a little
put on my
message
bifocals
exactly for you.
It's tough. I gotta say, it's tough, Wriste. I mean, some of us are just, we have pros and cons to each other. I have these devastatingly good looks, and you have better eyesight, apparently. So, it is what it is.
I have incredible eyesight, especially when I'm gaming.
For those eagle-eyed viewers, you might say, even Wriste.
Yeah.
So Wriste, on your stream, there's how you can earn the points and you can spend. You've got activate extreme mega god gamer mode in there. Is that what the eyes are?
What eyes?
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. What eyes? He's back to normal now. Okay, never mind. Well, I've been saving my pennies for that for your stream, so we'll see. We'll see what that does.
No, you got
I
to
don't
turn
know
his
what
light
you're
on.
talking
Jerds.
Are you saying there's some like special thing that's happening when I'm gaming?
I think there is.
Is there?
It could be an illusion also. You could be gaslighting all of us.
Probably just be in my natural state. I don't know. Whatever. Give us the seed.
All right, the seed for Rama Boba Lama is 366845. Once again, that is 366845.
All right. Did you remember that it's not correct for hidden aspects on hammers, right?
It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You might have a different version, but it should be correct nowadays if you have the most recent version, Websies.
Okay. Because I'm seeing relentless volley, charge volley, and sniper shot.
That sounds about correct to me.
Oh, Haelian, what are you doing to these guys? This is a semifinals.
What? No, wait, that can't be correct because charge volley isn't even possible. So Webs might just have an old version of the mod. So you guys are flying blind, I guess.
Real quick question, Webs. Do you have Rama selected first before you go into this?
I should, yeah. I do.
Yeah, because charge volley is actually not possible with Rama anymore. Used to be, and it was terrible. But so yeah, you guys will actually have no idea what it is.
All right, so
Okay.
which is what it should be
It
anyway.
works. By the way, we should mention that you must choose keepsakes and everything else before knowing what the seed is. I know we should have said that way sooner, but looks
Yeah,
good.
no, we did already.
Yeah, this isn't these guys' first rodeo. It's their second. All right, I think we're ready, guys. I'll get the confirmation from Wrist. Good to go?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, Webs is good too, so... Haelian, use that handsome
All
voice.
right. The countdown is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
And 0 does mean go, because that's what you do when the countdown is over. So guys, off you go.
Yeah, get going, would you?
Would you? Are they just hanging out on the pack to punishment screen to punish us viewers? Nah, stream delay. All right.
That stream delay. Those stupid eyes on Wrist's webcam. I can't stand it. Look at these beautiful hammers. Repulse shot taken by Webs. Chain shot taken by Wrist. I do like chain shot way better than repulse shot, I'm going to say. I don't know if I've ever really used repulse shot well.
I'm not sure if you can. The damage that each pulse grants you isn't that great. And then the other thing too is I think it provides a little bit of knockback, if I remember. So that makes it harder to aim with. Like, you know, although it is kind of a wide arrow that Rama shoots. You can't really scale the repulse damage very well, I don't believe. So really, it's
I don't think it scales with your attack or anything.
No.
So it kind of, you get what you get for the
Kinda
most
like with
part.
piercing
There's a couple
wave,
things
right?
that'll increase it, but not much.
Exactly. Which means, you're better off investing in front loading your attack here.
Yep. Epic Artemis attack taken by both runners. They both chose Artemis keepsake right out of the gate. But yeah, like you're saying, Jerds, you just power up this attack best you can. Epic dash strike too, taken by Webb super early, right into a chaos gate.
Nice.
That is a lot of power he's packing in that attack already.
Yeah, looking great for Webs as a start here. Let's see what Wrist picks up though.
More attack damage for Webs over there too. Wrist starting to kind of set up for Heartrend. It's a little tough with Aphrodite's cast though. You don't necessarily want to go with that.
Wrist in his own Chaos Gate here. Rerolls looking for some chunky damage. It's a 69% damage attack, but he can't pick it up because it adds more foes, which adds more time.
Yep. That'd be painful if he actually took that C epic boon, right? But it's definitely a good thing he did not.
Speaking of pain, look at the slow walk distance that walk speed. Webs has when he's not dashing. He picks up Curse of Pain
Passing
there.
up that Jerds to kill there by Webs, I gotta say. I'm sorry, Jerds. I'm sorry. He re-rolled that Ares boon and ended up taking the special, but that's kind of a nice pickup, I think. They're a little bit of a mix-up damage.
Yeah, interesting. Obviously, like all of your damage really is going to be coming from your attack. So I would just take the 12% increase on the damage for my attack here, especially since you're looking for hammers to triple it up and stuff. But yeah, these guys go fast.
I mean, I was
They know what
hoping
they're
to
doing.
see see them mix it up with a lot of boons on the special to try to deal some of that subsequent damage. You know, how do you deal with groups of small enemies with Rama, really, right? Because just pounding out these long attacks doesn't necessarily work well here.
Yeah,
so
you kind of
it's going to be interesting to see how they handle it.
Well, the way I would do it is triple, but you obviously don't have that to play with, and then dashing into the enemies and the sort of, you know, because especially with triple or even with twin shot, you kind of get such a wide berth of attack, such a wide range, because the single attack arrow is so wide already. You can kind of clear big chunks of screen quite easily. Plus, yeah, you are right though, that special does bounce around really nicely to apply the Shed Suffering debuff on enemies. So why not do some damage at the same time as well? All right, as they push through Tartarus here, Sisyphus now picked up for Webs.
That's good news because Wriste actually already saw Boldy and looks like Webs is a little bit ahead. That was the final chamber in Tartarus for him. Meanwhile, Wriste still has one more after he clears this one. Another Artemis Boon, Epic Hunter's Mark. He's got the full Artemis arsenal. Webs is grooving and schmooving right now.
Both these guys.
Yeah, he's going to be doing great with this build. Meanwhile, Wriste did also take Ares Doom damage on the special. So very similar builds, but Webs just has more power. And then we see Thanatos showing up for Wriste on the last possible chamber in Tartarus. Not good.
Not good indeed. Webs using those skills to bounce the Shed Suffering off the sidewall to apply status to Tisiphone, taking big chunky damage, and that's done. In-game time, 234. Real time was probably around about the 4:02 or 3 mark or something. And yeah, Thingo's
not bad
stealing
for
a Than here.
Rama, I think.
Look, Webs may get a Than later on, which might be more of a time cost. Not sure. This seems like a really slow Than room, to be honest.
This is pretty rough.
Yeah.
This is pretty rough. So these enemies with the clubs, the big beefy dudes with the clubs, they're called thugs, and they are the worst enemy to see in Tartarus usually, especially when they don't have armor, just because you keep getting them forever. It'll only spawn like 3 at a time, and it just goes on and on, it feels.
Yeah, that's exactly right. How many spawn at a time is a real big deal in that. Heartrend picked up there for Wriste, though.
Yeah. I mean, he has Aphrodite's cast, so it'll probably work a little bit.
Well, he did, I guess, kind of set it up before.
Ooh, nice power shot there by Wriste. But yeah, Wriste definitely has a lot of making up to do here. He's going to need for a lot of things to go right for him, a lot of things to go wrong for Webs at this point already.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just watching in order to see epic gamer skills in action here as Wriste takes down Electo at the end of the biome here. About a minute and probably around a minute.
Half behind almost already.
Yeah, exactly. All right, well, let's see what happens. It ain't over yet.
So, I mean, Chain Shot is going to help Wriste clear rooms much better than the hammer that I think Webs took personally. It's all going to be all about that second hammer because Chain Shot isn't going to do a whole lot versus these single bosses like Electo that Wriste just faced there. So it might not have seemed like a very fast fight, but it's just because the hammer wasn't really ideal for the situation. Barge taken by Webs here, definitely not what he wants, but definitely what Wriste wants to see.
Yep, just one of those puzzle pieces for Wriste to get on the catch up.
Looks like Wriste is definitely striving to get these power shots with Rama, which notoriously take much longer to get out than the other bow aspect. So it can be tough to execute if you haven't practiced it a lot. Webb seems to be a little bit more just unleashed when he thinks it's the correct timing. And sometimes that's the right thing to do, honestly.
Yeah, it kind of depends. I don't know. I do like sort of dashing in and doing the faster shots once you've got the Shed Suffering applied, but it really depends on the situation.
Yep.
All right, let's see if Wriste gets fortunate with Hermes Boon of some sort. Oh, and Bug does get a Fountain Room as well. These are the kind of catch-ups he needs. Now we're looking for extra dashes here.
Webs also got a Fountain Room just a second ago, too. So Webs is still 3 chambers ahead at this point. So at this point, it looks like neither of them saw the mid-shop here in Asphodel, but Wriste got a much better mini-boss than Webs did. So things could still turn around for Wriste, I'd say, at this point.
Wriste dropping the Meg here. Misses, unfortunately, one of the enemies there, but he'll still clear it pretty quickly anyway. Interesting he chose Hyper Sprint over an additional double dash. Given that, you know, the dash attack of a bow increases the draw speed, and with Rama being such a slow draw, you know, I kind of like that. But
right, yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, he must be seeking out that rush delivery yet again, I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. Going for power. That makes total sense. Big chunk there to phase Loney. Hitting for 1,000.
At this point, Webs doesn't really need something like rush delivery. Like, he's got a level 3 epic Hunter's Dash going for him here, so that's all going fine and groovy for him. Wriste could definitely use some more damage, I think.
Hey, 1695 to phase Loney the second time there.
Wow.
Rama does land to big chonks.
Looks like Heart Run is now owned by both runners, by the way, and they both can only apply it by using the cast, which isn't so bad against bosses, but you'll never really get it against smaller enemies, I'd say. Webb's finishing up that Lurney fight. Pretty good time, around 8:30 there. Meanwhile, Wriste, still slogging through. He's in the final chamber of Asphodel just now.
Yeah, Wriste doing his best, that's for sure. Not playing badly by any sense. And there's the rush delivery at epic level.
Yet again, 2 runs in a row. Wriste with the epic Chad gamer mood of 100% rush delivery. It happens every time. Taking that dash now, finally, from Aphrodite. He turned it down earlier, but at this point, he's probably thinking, you know what? Let's just apply Heart Rend and get it over with.
So I ask you, now that he's got the combo and he's behind, can he lose?
I think it's still, like, the time is just so rough right now. I think a lot has to go wrong for Webbs, really, for him to still make it up. Not great hammers shown, I gotta say, for Webbs there. It was, like, perfect shot, relentless volley, and I'm not even certain what the other one was, but either way, it wasn't ideal. He ends up taking perfect shot, meaning that his power shots are going to be a little bit easier to perform, and they deal more damage. But he hasn't been delivering a lot of power shots yet. I wonder if he's going to change, though, right now.
Not really his style, but I mean, you can always try and line them up on those. There are occasions when enemies spawn, when enemies are phasing out of the bubble, right? It can come in. I mean, that's part of the skill of Rama, is lining, or any bow aspect, is lining up that power shot on that first hit if you can. Assuming you don't have other things you have to do, I guess.
+1 dash picked up for Webbs as he enters the mid shop in Elysium. Things are looking pretty good for him. It could be pretty tough for Wriste. I mean, this is a very big detriment. Almost 2 minutes behind here in Asphodel already.
Webbs choosing to use his Meg this time against the Butterfly Ball. Another quick room there for Webbs. Clean kill picked up.
So much Artemis into Patty. Oh my god, this might be it, Jerds.
That's a really good sequence of events there for Webbs. Probably furthering his lead here as he goes into Chamber 32.
Oh my gosh. And you see Webbs going up against these Armored Witches here. This is actually the best case scenario in terms of enemies that you want to see here in Elysium, because Armored Witches have a high difficulty value in the game, which means that you just get fewer enemies overall because the game considers Armored Witches to be very difficult.
Right.
Wriste starting out with a Chaos Gate. Maybe he could pull this back a little bit, but he's going to need some insane luck from the rooms here, I think.
He'll need a fountain.
I got to say, this enemy set he's getting right now, it does not feel very good.
Yeah, that's right. What else does he need? Fountain, Patty, Butterfly Ball.
He needs it all, baby.
Yeah, you need a mid shop. It can happen, though. Alrighty,
another Artemis. Will we get the swap on the dash? Not quite. Takes a Hunter's Mark. Not bad, even if it's only common.
Yes, indeed. Dashing straight through that shop. Through to... Was it a Patty room? I didn't see quite what... No, it was Butterfly Ball room.
It is the Butterfly, but that's still almost as good as Patty when you think about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, an extra spawn there, but
one little extra spawn for him there, unfortunately. It was just hard to line up that power shot for him.
Yeah, and I mean, that occurred because he actually got interrupted by a Butterfly whilst he was drawing one of the Rama shots, meaning it took an additional Rama shot to kill that Butterfly Ball. So all these little things do add up. That was an extra few seconds there, you know?
Oh, Webs with the pro gamer move, actually choosing to take a trial here at the very last chamber here in Elysium, because he knows that if he saw Thanatos, that might actually turn the tide for Wriste. A Thanatos in the final chamber here in Elysium for Webs could have spelled disaster, but he avoided it by taking this trial. I think that's a really smart move there.
Yeah, that's a clever decision to make there. Something to look out for when you're speedrunning. I mean, you don't often get that opportunity. And of course, when you're not running a mod that tells you the chamber number like we are because of the race, you need to sort of keep tabs on that yourself. But if you know you're entering chamber 34, you haven't seen Than, you might want to avoid Than. Having said that, this does feel like a kind of slow room right now.
It's, I mean, the trials aren't good, and he got some pretty unfortunate enemies. Armored Bowmen, which is what Webs is mostly facing against right now, do not have a high difficulty rating. Therefore, you just get them almost endlessly. So this probably does not feel good for Webs at all. Possibly just as bad as a Thanatos would have been there.
Yes, but of course, you don't know what enemies are going to spawn until it happens, I guess. All right, clean kill up, then off Webs goes into the Theseus and Asterius fight. Hitting them both up there with the Meg, 2875 I saw there, and then doing some big chunky crits, 1400s and stuff there. Wants to line both of these guys up with that white arrow. Zeus is going off like a frog in a sock, trying his best to do some sort of damage here.
Like a frog in a sock?
Yeah, trying to get Webs to take the Death Defiance, and he does.
Down to 1 DD. This is actually a difficult situation right now. Oh, taking a bunch of extra damage here. He really cannot get a hit again in this fight. Otherwise, things will get super dangerous for him. Whew, clears it. Yeah, maybe this could be the way that Wriste actually pulls this off, potentially.
Yeah, maybe so. I mean, we did see Webs perish in the previous run. Might have been just, like sort of a bit of a throw at the end, but he definitely was at low health, as he is now. So we'll see how that pans out. And, this is serious gaming. These guys are on 40% forced overtime.
Yep. Web's actually checking the well there. I wonder if he was trying to see if he could get a Death Defiance. I don't think he actually had enough money for it, but he took something there, and he actually put on Eurydice's Acorn there. Normally, you'd probably see him take the Hades keepsake like Wriste already has on, but he just said, you know what, I'm not going to lose it, not like this. So he made the wise choice, I think, in taking that Acorn.
Yep, that is definitely a wise move. Stay safe at this point. Well, look at these curses. Curse of Vengeance just triggers so many times when you get hit by a beam because of the rate of fire. It's hilarious.
Perfect shot taken for that second hammer for Wriste there. Finally, he got that second hammer offered at the very last possible moment in Elysium as he finally gets to the heroes. But I don't know, Jerds. I mean, this might be way too far back for Wriste to come back from at this point.
Yeah, I do feel for Wriste, not the most fortunate sequence of events here. Has bubbled those two with perfect timing there, and they're both standing there just taking the hits. This is
very
the perfect
nice.
fight,
Look at
actually.
this.
The perfect fight. You couldn't ask for anything better.
Oh, no. Meanwhile, Theseus laments his chariot. Asterius is lamenting Theseus, sadly.
Yeah, that's right. I wonder how much control we'll get as players to cause those sort of scenarios in the future, or if it's always going to be RNG. How many thousands of runs against the heroes do you have to do, Haelian, to perfectly line them up like that?
I think there's an important question right now in chat, Jerds, for you.
Yeah.
And they want to know when the frog in a sock emote is going to come out.
Oh, right. Yeah, well, as soon as that next emote slot unlocks, that's probably my best contender so far.
There we go. We're going to need more subs, guys. If you want that frog in a sock.
Frog in a sock. I'm not even sure. How do we art that up? Is it just a sock?
Well, you
with
see,
a
you
lump
put
at
a
the
frog
bottom?
inside of a sock, and you let the rest speak for itself, I think.
Yeah, okay. A frog-shaped lump. All right, so they're fighting through sticks here. I kind of lost track with all this wildness of how many tunnels Webs is through. Is this his third? It's at least the second. It's probably the third. Chamber 52, that'd have to be the third. So he'll be coming up to his Hades fight now. So looking pretty strong here for Webs. You can't even get a Vermin to delay at this point.
It's too late now for that Vermin to make an appearance for Webs. Could still happen to Wriste, unfortunately for him.
Yeah. So I didn't get to watch your stream today, Haelian, but how did it go? What did you end up playing?
A game called Going Under. It's another sort of roguelike type of game, sort of a beat 'em up type of game. It's cool. It's interesting. You get to use all the objects around you in the game, and so you can use computer monitors, keyboards, ping pong balls, whatever you find to beat up the enemies around you. It's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like a bit of fun. Very colorful, very lighthearted. I like how you're always checking out these different types of roguelites that are out there. Roguelikes.
Whatever they are,
Rogue
right?
types.
Roguish
type.
games.
I just like rogues.
It's good stuff. We got Webs entering the Hades fight here. It's looking like he's going to be... Well, I'm watching his health. It could get rough. He's definitely going to have to play it safe. He's got a demanding lead here. The only thing that could really cost him, I think, at this point is the death. So there he goes. He phases the first part of Hades here, so he just has to remain safe.
Yeah, that is right. 136 health. As long as he doesn't take one of those boiling bloods and then gets big chonked, I think he'll be okay. Epic gamer skills here are definitely going to come to the fore. These guys have killed Hades so many times, even at forced overtime, 40%. I don't think there's anything to worry about. He can take his time. I'm not sure if he's watching the stream to see how far ahead he is. If he only knew, he would definitely just not be taking any risks at this point. So, you know... I
mean, he's almost on phase 2 here. Acorn finally wears off. There it is, phase 2. I mean, he's got 136 health and a Death Defiance still on him. He should be fine.
He should be fine.
Missed with that cast, unfortunately, at the start of the phase there, but sometimes he just kind of goes off too early, and plus when you're using Crush Shot, it doesn't always land.
Hey, nice big chunky damage there, 1800, 1100 in one hit.
Really nice.
Hades down to half health. I think this is a lock-in here for Webs. In the meantime, Wriste did do really well to catch up, right? I mean, Wriste is now on the Hades fight himself.
There it is. I saw a 3100 damage hit from Webs there, and it's just like, oh my gosh.
What a finisher.
The damage.
Beautiful. All right, well, that's what we're here for, the big numbers, babies.
Well, GG to webs2d for taking it and moving on to the next round. Great races by both guys while we get to watch Wriste finish up the Hades fight here.
Absolutely, but that just does not mean the Hermes Cup semifinals are over. We do have duunk0 versus Museus after this.
I'm excited for that race.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything could happen, 100%. We'll see. We'll see how the RNG gods roll. I'm loving the aggressive stance that Wriste was taking there. Having to muck around, waiting for these stealths is the real pain in phase 1 of this Hades fight. But yeah, he's in there. You know, health is a resource, as we always say. So, you know, spend it to get positional power. Wriste13, often lucky, but sometimes not lucky. That's what they say. The Hermes Cup champion fighting his way through here. You know, he's done well to get through to the semifinals. He always does well in the Hermes Cups, so I'm sure we'll be seeing him again in Hermes Cup 4.
He can't go anywhere. I think at the least, Jerds, we could say Wriste always puts on a good show.
Definitely.
3 races. I think he's done 3 races every time where he had to come back, but unfortunately the comeback just couldn't happen for him tonight.
That's right.
Webs was able to take it. But yeah, great races by both guys there.
Absolutely. Well done, both races here. And congratulations to Webs. You will go through as the winner of this first semi-final today with a score of 2-1. So, Webs, how do you feel?
I'm feeling good. I'm very happy I could fulfill the narrative where the student becomes the master.
Oh, wow.
And slays Mr. Wriste13.
Wow, wow, wow. Wriste, what do you have to respond to this?
I'll see y'all in Haelian's basement. That's about it. Congratulations, Weapons of House 2D.
Thanks, man. So jokes aside, Wriste is a really good friend of mine. It was great races. Thanks, bud.
Yeah.
That's
such
excellent.
nice young boys.
I'm glad we made it to best of 3. That's it.
Oh, for sure. I'm upset we did not do Lucifer. You coward.
We had to get. That's the only way we make it to a best of 3, dude.
Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Nice, great sportsmanship there. Congratulations, guys. Before we start wrapping up and going into intermission, where can we find you? Give yourself some plugs and anyone else you want to plug. And what are you going to be working on in terms of Hades coming up from now on? Wriste, why don't you go first?
Yeah, you can catch me at www.twitch.tv/Wriste13. Do speedrunning stuff. Also like to shout out our me and Webs and also Satan are working on a Hades podcast called Blood and Talkness.
Awesome.
Our latest episode had Haelian on it. It's pretty good. Got a new one coming up pretty soon. It's going to feature
Good stuff. Check it out.
great dude. And yeah, I think that's it.
So for the podcast, is that on, like a podcast service, or is it streamed through Twitch? How do people find it?
You can find it on YouTube, Blood and Talkness. It's also available on Spotify.
Very cool. All right, Webs. You're the man of the moment, going through to the finals of the Hermes Cup 3. Congrats. Any plugs, shout outs? What do you want to say? What are you going to be working on?
Man, I really just I want to thank the community a lot. Regardless of what happens in the finals, because I did not expect to make it this far as I did. And I really do like this community. They're very supportive and they've been super kind to me. As far as what I'm going to be working on next, I'm probably going to be doing a lot of all webs. I just PB'd in that. I got a 142, but I'm shooting to do sub 140. So we're going to be going for that. And you can find me at twitch.tv/webs2d.
Nice.
And that's it.
That's great. All of that is excellent. And with that, I think we'll go over to an intermission. Congratulations on great races, both of you. And Webs will go through. And with that, we've got another race coming up, duunk0 versus Museus. So we're going to have a
Do not go anywhere.
Do not go away. 15-minute intermission, and we'll see you after the break.
What are the aspects again? We have Arthur.
Sorry, that's really funny.
It's Hades, Rama, Chiron, Arthur,
Zeus
Talos,
Shield.
and Lucy. Yeah, Zeus.
AKA Instaban.
Yes, sir.
That's the only one I would not race with you guys tonight.
I got some good news for you. I'm never.
All right, and welcome back to the Hermes Cup. It's semi-finals time, and we've got a match number 2 of the semi-finals here for you guys.
Hermes.
Yeah. So, Haelian, who's racing? Who are these people? Why don't you tell us a bit about them?
A couple dudes we kind of found. I mean, I guess they play Hades. I think they mostly play this other game called Gun Witch, which is super popular right now on Twitch. But yeah, anyway, we got Dunk, the number 0, followed by Museus, the number 7, with us tonight for an amazing race, I gotta say.
Yeah, it's going to be big, you know. So duunk0, second place winner of the Hermes Cup 2, has definitely showed so many accolades in his, you know, kind of condensed Hades speedrunning career. You know, like we'll get him to talk about what records he's collected because it's hard to keep track of all of them and where we're at with that. But he did pick up second in the Hermes Cup last time. Very big contributor to the community. And of course, verifier on the speedrun team. So for Hades, so that's great. Museus always seems to find himself in the semi-finals of a Hermes Cup.
Yeah,
he's how do you say? You know, he's old faithful. He's always there.
He's like always a bridesmaid, never a bride. Perhaps so far from Museus, but maybe tonight could turn that around a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. Thanks for the raid, Washing the Wind. And folks, hello. And yeah, I mean, why don't we get these races in right now and have a chat ski? See how they're feeling. So let's introduce them right now. We got duunk0 and Museus. Whoops, coming on up now. duunk0, how are you going? How are you? Tell us about your life.
I'm doing pretty okay. I'm doing pretty good. I've been very, very, very busy. That's been sort of my life recently.
Well, you're just saying, you know, you work 2 jobs, you're streaming, you're getting world records.
Yeah. Currently only a holder of 1 world record.
Is that all? Jeez.
I had 2, and then Webs came in and got an all weapons time that was a minute 50 faster than mine. So
wow,
I guess I have to go take that back at some point.
Yeah, that's a bummer.
But yeah, I've been just playing a lot of Hades, streaming Hades, doing YouTube content, doing my 40-hour week job. It's sleeping maybe 4 hours a night. It's been great.
Well done on getting it all done. And you know, should you go through and defeat Museus here today, then you'll have at least 2 weeks to sort of catch up and get more practice going with the finals. But I'll tell you what, Museus has got something to say about that. Museus, how you going? Are you there?
I am here. I'm doing all right. Again, like you said, this is my 3rd time at the semifinals. Hermes Cup 1, I got 4th place. Hermes Cup 2, I got 3rd place.
Ooh.
So I'm really gunning for 2nd place this time.
Always pushing up. That's the way, and it's totally possible here. How much practice have you put in to get to this point?
I've done about 1 run per aspect.
Well then,
completely seriously.
Of course, you know,
this is a serious race taken very seriously by the runners.
Yeah. Look, next Hermes Cup, we'll probably be mixing up the aspects, and there'll be some of the more popular aspects selected in there. So it'll be much easier for these races with limited time to practice these sort of off-meta ones, and really be sharper for the Hermes Cup, which is fine. But for now, you know, like these guys have all played thousands of hours in the game probably. And you know, that game skill doesn't go without, you know, helping you whatever aspect you play. So I'm sure they'll still perform really well today here in the semifinals. And I think what we got to do is get into the aspect draft. So just 1 second, guys, sorry.
Oh no.
duunk0 is the highest seed here today. It was very close between duunk0 and Museus, I guess. duunk0, you know, being second in the Hermes Cup previously, granting you that high seed position for today, meaning you get the first ban, duunk0. Who is it and what is it that you want to ban?
I am going to be banning the weapon I'm using currently, Zeus Shield.
Oh my. Poor Zeus Shield, you know, like.
How horribly unexpected.
Yeah, we talked about it last
want
time
Zeus.
when we talked about it last time when we were talking with Darren, but I just Zeus Shield, this sort of like follower mechanic, I just can't get my brain around. I just can't wrap my head around it, so I'm just gonna keep that out of the pool until I can figure it out.
Folks who don't always get to watch duunk0's stream, and I'm not sure if you put the video up yet, but duunk0 did a brilliant piece of content just yesterday, which was it yesterday? Where you
It was Wednesday.
Yeah, why don't you tell us about it?
Oh, I did an aspect tier list, and I
Yeah.
put Zeus Shield solidly in I believe it was in B tier. It's not a bad weapon. I just don't know how to use it.
Yeah, it wasn't wasn't too bad, but yeah, of course you got to be practiced to feel confident to win a race with it. Museus, you're the second ban.
I'm gonna ban Rama.
Why? That's what I want to know.
I just, knowing how Haelian picks his seeds, I really don't want to be forced to take Repulse or Chain Shot.
I don't see the problem, guys. Sometimes you gotta work with what you get.
It's kind of the name of the game with Hades. Alrighty. And with that, it's time for the second round of bans. What's next, duunk0?
We're not going to be spinning, but we may be winning today. No Hades.
No Hades in the game of Hades.
No Hades.
That's right. Ban the game. Game done. Stream
Alright.
over.
Easiest cup ever. Museus, what say you as per the next ban?
I'm gonna ban Talos.
Okay. Poor Talos. You're out. Leaving us with Arthur, interestingly, Chiron, and Lucifer. This is an interesting mix-up.
Yes!
Yeah, rub those hands together.
Arthur!
Absolutely could happen. We could go to the best of 3. Not sure which order these will be, but we got to decide that right now.
Oh, we're starting on Arthur.
We're starting.
Yeah,
Arthur.
baby.
You've heard it here first. Woo!
Cheers for Arthur, guys.
Hell yeah. Let's see if there's some mix-up. I love it. All right, Museus, what's next?
I'm gonna go with Lucifer second.
Okay. Meaning that, should we go to the third match in this best of 3? The remainder becomes Chiron. And I'm not surprised that's at the end. Look, these aspects, Chiron can do all right at high heat, but we're basically doing any heat for this best of 3. All right, so first up is Arthur, guys. Why don't you equip yourselves, get the weapon, get the mirror, get your keepsake, and then you'll get the seed. Thanks for the sub, Woz. Good to have you. All right. Haelian, have you got seeds ready?
Just making sure
I'm
the
ready
boys
for 'em.
are ready for it. They look ready. All right, the seed for thine Arthur run. By the way, Jerds, we have to speak in medieval accents for the rest of this.
A medieval
It is
accent.
going to be 083262.
Verily. 083.
Just prepare the
262.
round table for thine meeting this eve.
Very well, good Sir Haelian. It doth seem that dotheth. A good
Oh,
race
no.
will be had today.
Oh no,
Neither
okay.
of them know how to speak in Old English. Oh, terrible.
I'm gonna have to swap out Dunk for Jerds right here.
Yeah, I'm out, boys. That's fine.
I'm down the race against Jerds.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you'd win. Easy. Yeah, I think I've played, maybe 3 hours of Hades in the last month, so you'd easily beat me.
Shax Prof actually got it right. It is Middle English or
Oh,
early
really?
modern English. So
Yeah,
that was
you know,
my
whatever.
bad. My father's a Shakespeare professor. I have to get these things right. Or he's going
yes,
to
you
be
should.
calling me after this happens and just being like, Duncan, I'm so embarrassed.
Jerds, think of a Shakespeare joke now. Something about Macbeth. Come on.
It's all Greek to me. I don't know. I got nothing. I don't know enough about the arts. I'm just a gamer nerd. That's duunk0's
You could have at
realm.
least brought up the Fortnite thing or something.
What's the Fortnite thing?
Well, they use Fortnite a lot in Shakespeare, right? Like the term Fortnite, and you say Fortnite all the time. It's fine.
Ah, I didn't even know that. I thought you were talking about there might be a Fortnite game crossover joke happening there. duunk0, does that mean that your father and your parents perhaps are watching? duunk0 Senior is watching this?
Very likely, yes.
Ah, well, shout outs to you, good sir. You raised a good one.
Welcome.
All right, so I think we're ready to get the race underway. Haelian, I'll leave it to you.
All right, guys. In 5.
Oh, wait. I have to.
Oh, wait. Hold it.
I have to leave the chat.
Museus.
You have to give me a text.
Museus, hold on.
We'll do it via text.
duunk0 needs special care.
All right. I'll do a text countdown. No worries. Dunk.
All right. You ready, Jerdzies? All right. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. And they're off.
And they're off. They race and they run and they start their race on 0. Just like when, you watch the Olympics and they're like 3, 2, 1, and then they shoot the gun. Gun equals 0.
Right. There you go. That also equals 0. Yep. Gun equals 0 basically here. We had someone in chat ask what heat they're on. It is the runner's choice what heat they use. There are a few packs of punishment that actually give you a little bit of an edge in terms of speed. Forced overtime makes enemies spawn faster. Extreme Measures 2 makes that learning fight a little bit faster since it makes the smaller heads spawn together, and they always take tight deadline just to disable survival rooms from showing up. That is the room with the special timer where Hades makes you wait out enemies in Tartarus here. So I believe Museus took Forced Overtime 0, whereas Dunk took 20%, interestingly. So we already have a small divergence here in the Pact of Punishment.
Whoops.
Both taking Epic Artemis's attack here with Arthur, so they're both swinging for big chunks here already. Absolutely no problem with that. duunk0 taking Artemis's dash. Also, I think some people have kind of wizened that double edge might be the best hammer to have when you're trying to do Arthur quickly. It's kind of strange, like you wouldn't think so necessarily because the dash attacks don't feel great with Arthur, but it still just seems to be the best method.
Yeah, I mean, going a dash strike build, go Hunter's dash, go multi-dashes, get big chunky attacks.
Yep.
I can't really see a faster way of building Arthur.
Yep. So duunk0's definitely going to be looking for that double edge hammer, and I'm sure Museus would take it too if it's offered. But there are still some nice backup hammers, like Shadow Slash works really well, I know here. Even Breaching Slash is okay, I'd say. But yeah, very similar builds from both runners already. Electric Shot taken by Museus. He's getting a Chaos Boon here. Nope, no attack damage. Ends up just taking a little bit of gold bonus there. He already has a good amount of gold on him, so that's not a bad take, I think. Ooh, you can already see these huge chunks coming off of them. Those third swings hitting for over 300 without even critting there. Dionysus call taken by Museus there, which is okay, but a call boon with Arthur isn't generally great at all, I'd say. It wouldn't even matter which call it is, just because calls charge very, very slowly when you're hitting so infrequently, like he will be here with Arthur.
Casual swipe for 582 there from duunk0.
Yeah, not bad. That hydraulic might from Poseidon's already doing work for him for sure.
Yep.
Still extremely close here. duunk0's just a chamber behind right now, but it's I don't know, it could go either way here. We're getting the first hammer coming up from Museus on the right side, and it's a fountain room. Mid-shop finally being offered for duunk0. That'll help make up a little bit of time here. Doesn't take the Ares boon. I wonder if... What do you think, Jerds? Like, Jerds to kill or Battle Rage might not be a bad take there?
I mean, I guess Battle Rage. Both are fine. If we're going for a dash strike build, and what else is there really besides those sort of boons, right? You're just looking for big chaos and big numbers, I guess. We want Hermes dashes. And I guess you want to supplement with an aid and then maybe go into Zeus's aid with some billowing strength and stuff like that, perhaps. Or maybe even Hades' keepsake might be coming into play for big chunkers because that survives on the big hit, right? Yeah, that resolves, I guess, on the big hit. So we'll see.
Ooh, 1458 putting up on the board by duunk0, and that poor measly witch there. Huge chunks coming in already. Meanwhile, Museus pulling into the lead here, almost done with Tisiphone. He got that fountain room. He's just able to expand that lead a little bit further. Meanwhile, duunk0, not a very lucky Tartarus, I gotta say.
Yes, indeed. Picking up a special there. I'm not sure how much special is going to get used. Picking up a Titan Blood there, Museus. Okay, then.
He's finally getting past these heat barriers with the sword, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, unless he's using a clean save file, perhaps.
Yeah. Some interesting buys by Museus there. He picked up an extra cast. He does have Zeus's electric shot, and I guess you could say the struggle here is clearing waves of small enemies for Arthur, so maybe that's kind of a good choice, is putting a little bit of stock into electric shot here for himself. I kind of like that move.
Yeah, it makes sense. You want to supplement with some cast power. You definitely want to chuck those casts in for the additional damage as you dash in to large hit point enemies, I guess. So, as demonstrated just there. So, yeah.
You can see duunk0 grimacing a little bit after that split after Tartarus there, finishing up at a time of 450. He is about 34 seconds behind Museus right now. It's not a horrible lead, though. I definitely duunk0 could make up that time pretty easily, even in just one biome already, especially since their builds are still so very similar at the moment.
Yeah, no, we're not seeing much divergence just yet.
Interestingly, Museus actually took the acorn going into Asphodel. That is very, very early. Dionysus's special is an interesting choice. Oh, but when it rains, it pours for duunk0 the hunko, because Thanatos has shown his face. Chamber number 18 in Asphodel.
Yep, so this will be a mid cost of time, I guess. Middle of the ground. I mean, it could be worse, but it could be better. The big problem here is just look at the spawn distance between these enemies, right? He's literally having to dash across the room just to get to them. That's kind of awful. Hermes here for Museus, who re-rolls and picks up another re-roll.
He's rolling all right.
Oh, greatest reflex, +3, babies.
Wow.
Let's get dash striking.
Dash build coming back for him here. He did take that hammer, but I actually missed what he took. If anyone can chat, could let me know. But I'm doubtful it was double edge, otherwise we'd see way more dash strikes right now.
Barge of Death being a nice slow room here for Museus. duunk0 goes into his shop, has to pick up the Hermes. Greatest reflex is only +1.
Thinks about it though.
Yeah,
he had to think about it. That was a tough choice for sure. And actually, duunk0's entering chamber 20 somehow already here. It's almost like the Barge of Death has evened things out. Meanwhile, duunk0 gets the witch room here, which should go way faster. So duunk0's not far behind at all. They're both in the same chamber number. duunk0 might even finish up, and the tables have finally turned. While Museus is struggling to finishing the final enemy there. Oh my god.
That's true, yeah. duunk0 did open up that Witch's Circle fight quite nicely. Just a little bit of patience and you can line up at least 3 of those Witches with a single Meg line hit. And yeah, don't be afraid to dive into some of those projectiles and just get that fight finished, which is what he did. And then picked up Deadly Reversal for his efforts.
Yeah, great pickup there by him for sure. You can see duunk0 breathing a sigh of relief as the first hammer finally gets offered for him here toward the end of Asphodel. He's in the final chamber. Museus working through the second to last here. Museus is starting to fall a little bit further behind despite that big lead he had leaving Tartarus here.
Yes, indeed. We got a close race on our hands.
Ooh, nothing good. You can see the wince from duunk0's face there, forcing him to take Supernova, because otherwise it was Curse Slash or Hoarding Slash. You never take Curse Slash, will probably get you killed in this situation. And Hoarding Slash barely does anything when you don't have a gazillion gold.
duunk0 having a re-roll here, looking for movement of some sort. Picks up Hyper Sprint. It's not additional dashes, but it is move speed, so...
I wonder if he was really hoping for rush delivery there, since he already took a 40% greater haste. So he's gonna be... his move speed is gonna be pretty high.
That is a really good point. Yes, I mean, how quickly can he get another Hermes? That could provide a rush delivery. He'll be saving those re-rolls because he really wants to lock that in. We could be seeing some big chunky hits from Arthur should he get that combo going.
For sure. And he already has Hades keepsake on, so you might see some huge numbers being put out here.
Hell yeah,
some nice tech. Yeah, some nice tech with Arthur. duunk0 making good use of, I think, is the special aura that gets put down by Arthur. It does block trap damage, including lava, so you can stand on the lava as long as the aura is down. But his health's getting low. He's got 3D, so we're not worried about him dying, but he might lose time to losing a Defiance here.
So be it. It's probably bound to happen at least once or twice. Just because you have to go so head first into some of these, you know, with a slow swinging weapon to some of these enemies. But I think these guys will be all right. Still battling here against Loney, but duunk0 finally cleans it up with a time finishing Asphodel of 9:35 there, I see. So using live split, we'll be able to see the timing difference. Look at this Meg to finish off.
Wow.
Classic Museus styles there.
Classic Museus there. I wonder how many Megs he has left, though, because that might not leave him with very much. He's only got 3, so he's short 1 than he'd like to be. But if you get something like the butterfly ball, it won't make much of a difference, I gotta say.
Yeah, that's true. We'll see. And of course, sometimes you can purchase one here from the Well of Charon. So 13 seconds differentiate
close.
these races right now.
That is so close. That is insane, really. duunk0 walking into the first room of Elysium. He is to getting a second hammer. He got the first one super late, but he's got the second one nice and early. He's really hoping for, I don't know, double edge, shadow slash. I wonder what he'd prefer here. Meanwhile, Museus gets a Chaos Gate right at the start. That's going to be a nice little makeup there for him. Double edge, there it is. duunk0 breathing that sigh of relief, finally. Whew, he definitely feels better about having that now, but he doesn't have those extra dashes, Jerds, right? Like Museus does. Museus got plus 3 dashes. He needs that double edge.
Yeah, that's right. And yeah, both guys need what each other has, basically. And there's still time to get them. So I'm not too worried at this point. You know, Museus did just have a Chaos Gate and picked up, I think it was 67% damage when striking from behind. So that working well with his multi-dashes. Avoids the hammer there to go into the shop.
Yeah, you gotta get a random boon, and it's from Ares, and it's Blood Frenzy. No Jerds to kill, I'm afraid, there.
And then picks up the mini boss fight, again avoiding the hammer, and again has to. It's a butterfly ball time, baby.
Not bad. Wow, they are so close. Museus pulling a little bit ahead, but only barely, because duunk0's just walking into the same chamber. Possibly not quite the same mini-boss. That's actually going to cost duunk0 a tiny bit of time here, having to fight Asterius instead of the butterfly ball.
Having said that, Museus not using any dash strikes to get, really, not many, to get to those many eyes that spawned. And it seemed to me like a little bit of a fumble, actually. Just doing a lot of standard swings and trying to time them, instead of like dashing straight through and probably like, you know, one-shotting, I would say. Each eye with a dash strike, but yeah. So that did take a long time.
Yeah, it looks like duunk0 did pretty well with Asterius there, so that's probably going to make up quite a bit of time, it looks.
Yeah,
it's really close. They're in the same chamber. Museus might have ever so slightly, but it's really just going to be how the rest of the chambers go now for both of them. Museus popping the Dionysus special. I'm pretty sure Museus also has double Nova, which means his special strikes twice. This is a very interesting move by Museus. The man that really confounds all thoughts in mention of strategy, I gotta say.
Yeah, very interesting. These guys chonking through. They're in the second half of Elysium now. It'll be interesting to see how this damage goes against the Heroes fight coming up. Hunter Dash upgraded for duunk0.
Ooh, big patty picked up by duunk0 here. He is missing a DD. Is he going to go safe? Dang right he doesn't. He goes for that attack jerky still.
Oh, yeah, of course. I mean, look at the... We're just looking for the biggest numbers possible. It's not even about the win. Having said that, 1750 critting there for Museus.
Big number.
Monkey-like.
I got to point out that Museus did end up using Meg on the butterfly ball, and I think they both only have 2 Meg summons left between them, actually. So they're even on that. So even though Museus did spend one on the Hydra, it winds up being the same, it would appear.
That is true. Proudbearing picked up there, and away they go. duunk0 leaves chamber 33, so this is 34, and it's not a tricky Than or anything like that. He already had Than anyway, but for Museus,
who was already just a handful of seconds behind, this could be quite painful. Let's see what kind of enemies he gets. He's getting unarmored swordsman. That is a very bad sign. You do not want to see these enemies, especially from Thanatos, especially in chamber number 34 in Elysium. This is the last possible chance he could have had this happen to him, and unfortunately it had to happen.
That indeed, and you can see him just going headfirst into just sacrificing health if required. Does not care, just wants to clear the hell out of this room as quickly as possible. Crystal shields preventing a few hits there.
Oh, he's still wading his way through these slogs of enemies. Meanwhile, duunk0 enters the hero's fight, and he's slapping him around with that sword like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah, look at these dash strikes.
That double edge.
And this is a real difference between how Museus is playing this dash strike build, I guess, against duunk0. duunk0 is really dash striking all over the place. Museus doing a lot of standard swings.
Well, I mean, duunk0 got that double edge, whereas Museus didn't, I believe, so I can understand. It's kind of hard to say what you should be doing exactly. Ooh, nice battle rage pickup for Museus there. That might help him a little bit. But yeah, he's a full boss fight behind at this point. It's going to be tough.
Let's see how he goes now in comparison here. Does hit with both targets with the Meg. They are nicely lined up there for a second. Hits for 1206.
All right, they're back together. That's nice to see. It depends what the Minotaur does here. Minotaur gets locked into that vulnerability bubble. And the Minotaur decides to just stand there and take these hits. He's getting chomped. Theseus down. Minotaur getting those big chunks on him. No Caspin being put out by Museus here for him, though.
And Museus spending the time to keep the special down too. I'm not sure if I'd be too worried about damage reduction at this point. I mean, it's on full health right now. Look at this.
Full health with the acorn, by the way, still.
Yeah.
Museus is known for his safe strats, if anything, I think.
Definitely showing that way right now. So duunk0 approaching the end of his first tunnel here. Not a bad boss to be coming up against. It ain't no vermin.
Nah, not bad at all. This is definitely the worst one that isn't the vermin, I think, though, just because it has the most health by far. And it's kind of a tougher one to time because it takes a little bit longer to spawn than the other ones, I gotta say.
Yeah, one of these days, I think someone should just look at a whole bunch of the top times and just do like a timing comparison. Collect, you know, like out of maybe the top 30 runs or something, top 20 runs or something, how much each of these end boss rooms take, or mini boss rooms and sticks, and then we can do like a mathematical comparison and be like, you know, on average tiny vermin takes, I don't know, 14 seconds or whatever it is, probably way more than that. You know, the bother takes X seconds, right? That'll be an interesting comparison to know. All these things will be discovered and unveiled over time as the game gets more and more played.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think you're right, Jared. I think people will look further and further into these kinds of things as time goes on, when things become even more competitive than they are now.
Yeah,
I gotta say.
Yeah, as we
Museus
start to know.
did spend his last Meg here. Out of Megs for Museus, unfortunately.
Okay, so no Megs unless he happens to buy one in a well. No Meg for the Hades Phase 1 fight at this stage.
Meanwhile, it looks like duunk0's practically a full path ahead here, and no vermin is to be had. It's going to be... I don't know if Museus can really make it up at this point. I wonder if duunk0 will go for... I don't know if Hermes was being offered in the shop, but he's got almost 500 gold. It might not be a bad decision just because he is so close to being able to get a nice rush delivery being offered there. 491. He missed a gold pot, though. I don't know if he's actually interested in this or not, though. Oh, he picks up gold here, too.
Yeah, and so he's definitely got the coin for it. I think it's a very smart play that you've just said.
Is he doing
there.
it? He's going for it.
Let's see if
he's
he gets
rolling.
It. Well,
he could get punished really hard here. This is costing time. Doesn't get it, but that 30% attack speed, oh my god, that's big.
That is big. Swift Strike was picked up there, and look, it ain't no rush delivery, but it's something.
That's pretty good. If you get their attack speed with Arthur is actually extremely good here, I think. Getting those combos out so much faster is going to prove to be very, very handy. And so I think at this rate, while Museus still is finishing up his final path there, duunk0's definitely going to have to take the first race.
Does duunk0, tell me, Haelian, does duunk0 remain with the dash strike strats here because he's got double strike as opposed to, you know, doing the combo
Looks
swings?
like that's what he's doing. Whether or not he should be, I have no idea. It's anyone's guess right now what could possibly be better.
I've actually got a hole in my knowledge here. I mean, can you tell me, does the attack speed actually increase the dash strike? Because I don't believe it changes the speed for that at all, right?
No, I don't think so. I don't think it actually affects that at all, I'm pretty sure. Just the actual, how quickly it combos.
Yeah. So on the, you know, chance that he does have to do a standard swing or two, he'll get that benefit there. Otherwise, that boon actually won't do too much if he's dash striking.
Yeah, it was just sort of a nice option, I guess, if he felt like it was a good move there. Look at that big chunk, 2,300 damage with that third combo strike. That might be the reason why that he should be switching over to using these combos instead of these dash strikes. But I don't know. You can see, look at the damage. It's just going up and up.
Talisk confirming in chat our suspicion that the attack speed buff probably not, or does not affect the dash strike. So,
Ooh, some misses from duunk0 there. It can be kind of tough to aim the dash strike, especially with Arthur using this full call from Hades here finally.
Yeah. All right, well, he will be the first to finish off Hades here, but again, great to see both racers taking on Hades at the same time. Yeah, and I guess in that moment there, a few only standard swings could be done, lest she dash into the hot beams. duunk0 does take the first race of this best of 3. Museus continues to fight on here.
It was such a close race. It was the Thanatos that really, you know, just kind of did Museus in the very last moment, I gotta say.
Absolutely.
But yeah, great play by duunk0 there. Great, very nicely done. That deadly reversal must have been doing a ton of work for him too.
20 minutes real time there for duunk0. In the meantime, swinging away here is Museus.
Cleans it up right about now. Time of pretty much 21 minutes. Not even hitting the split button. Oh wait, never mind. This is phase 2. Never mind.
Guess what? Hades
I
comes
didn't even
back.
realize.
God of the dead cannot be killed.
I just thought he was done.
You probably had a whole bunch of viewers wondering, oh, we're done too.
What is he talking about?
Maybe someone who hasn't actually seen the fight is watching right now, and that's the biggest way you build up the spoiler.
There you go. I built up the fight. There you go, guys.
Yeah, well done.
So duunk0 finished with time at 20:07. Not great. Just wasn't great luck, I'd say, in a lot of ways. Like, he got that super late first hammer, which wasn't double edge and stuff. So, and then Museus also, like, obviously not great. Even with the 3 sack, you hope for better times. But Arthur is definitely one of the more difficult weapons to speedrun very quickly or very well at all, I'd say. So they did a great job either way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you remember when I said I played through each of the aspects once?
No.
That was a lie. I didn't play Arthur.
Oh, it was your this time.
I thought you were going to fool us and say, I practiced Arthur 30 times.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
No, I came into today planning to ban this weapon, and then nobody's been playing Arthur, so I was like, whatever, we'll play Arthur.
Well, with that, duunk0 does take the first win in this best of 3, and it ain't over yet because Aspect of Lucifer is second. Hang on, there was a fish that was not fished. No flexing.
Wow. Shame.
Sorry, I'm saving
Shame
on
on
my
you.
flexes.
Put your tail between your legs and prepare for the next fight because it's going to be it's going to be with Aspect of Lucifer.
Lucy,
baby. Museus, do you want to talk about that run at all, or do you want to? Oh, you're done with it.
Well, I got double Nova, and then I was like, hey, maybe I could do like a special build.